you go. They're just on the gate here. We're just waiting to get those guys, the gate to drop. 30+2, who's going to grab that moto3.com whole shot.
Have a night for number 3 there, Galdi. Sean Moffenbauer had a bad start yesterday as well. He fought back, but he couldn't get around his teammate like we alluded to earlier. The 2 Rockstar athletes battled it out, but Sam Gaynor got the better of him in the sophomore year. And yeah, we'll see if Sean Moffenbauer's got a little more in the tank, get up there with those front runners and battle it out for maybe a podium. And that Rockstar team is strong this year. They got 3 guys that are top 6 riders right now, so we'll see those guys trying to get those podiums.
We're just about a minute away, I think. Oh, there it is. Actually, the Reds are up. The gate is down. Who's going to grab that moto3.com whole shot? It's really far away for us to see. I see a Cowie up on the outside. Doesn't look like that's going to nab it. We're going to get a report from our people on the radio right now to see who's going to grab that whole shot here in moto number 2, this 450 class. I feel like I'm ghost right now. I can't quite see. Like, we're having this little monitor issue right now to see what's happening right now at home. And I'm like, who's going to get it? Could it be the 5? Could it be the 2? Is it going to be Phil? Maybe it's the number 9. Maybe it's Sam Gaynor right there getting that jump. And we're going to see them in about another 10-15 seconds or so as they start to creep their way in. I see a helmet there. Liam O'Farrell's in about 8th position. The moto3.com whole shot went to Phil Nicoletti. The 54 right now is leading the way. There they are pulling into our frame. And the number 9 is right on his tail, Kyle.
Yeah, we got all the gunslingers out front. It looks like Gerke sitting in 3rd. And Medaglia just sitting behind, it looks like Husqvarna of Keelan Meston, I believe that is. And so all the guys that we wanted to be up there are up there. Sean Moffenbauer sitting about 7th. He just got passed by his teammate, Sam Gaynor. So those guys are all near the front. This should be good. But Phil Nicoletti on this rough track, he's got the number 9 breathing down his neck already.
The top 8 positions right now held by the top 8 in moto number 1 already right there. A couple little swaps right there. Keelan Meston trying to go up the inside of Medags. The Dags are on the outside. He's going to make that pass. But there they go. The 5-4, 9-2, number 5, number 10. Sam Gaynor and Moffenbauer right there, and a good start for Bobby Piazza right there, the 50, switching bikes. I think that's the number 50 of Bobby Piazza right there. He's on a Honda today, of all things. I think he had a problem with that Yamaha he was riding yesterday. And of course, without the tech stuff this year, you're not have to tech in those 2 bikes. This is something they get a little bit tricky with the rules. Bobby Piazza's on the track. That's what we love to see.
Hey, it's good to see that he's out racing. Obviously had that issue with his Yamaha yesterday, and the kid came up from Pennsylvania as a privateer effort. Stayed here for 2 weeks in Ontario just to do the quarantine process, and he's able to race. So, man, it would have been ashamed if he couldn't line up for this moto, but man, good to see him out on a Honda. The kid's a talented rider, so he's going to be able to work with anything he's got brought to him.
You gotta like that. Not too many riders can just jump on another bike. Even have a bike. I'll have to find out later on whose bike that is. Never spotted him today in the pits to ask that question. Wasn't sure if that's going on. So Phil Nicoletti, I can't remember the last time he's got a whole shot. I mean, he was only up on our series last year. Didn't he get a whole shot last year?
Just all indoors whole shots.
Okay.
He never got one whole shot outdoors. So, man, 54 means business this year. And who's going to put a stranglehold on that red plate at the end of the day? We got an hour of racing, and we're going to find out who's going to get that red plate going into
an hour of racing going on here for the 450 boys. We already talked about the 250s. They were done. Pettis destroyed. Motor number 2's gone 1-1. Dylan right now looking at this. Look at that. The number 9 has made the pass on the number 5-4 right now. I kind of got a feeling from Phil that he was going to kind of play a little bit of the follow role if he got that way. So maybe he let Dylan have that lead right now to see, because he said Dylan's fast this track, and I gotta see where he's doing it and see where he's figuring it out.
Yeah, just watching him go through those rollers, Dylan's able to float those things a lot better. He uses his leg span there just to really get over the big rollers. That's a nasty section they got to go through. And yeah, Phil, honestly, it's a veteran move if he did actually let Dylan Wright by and try to lead the way. We know Dylan Wright is fast on this track. He's got some skill in the sand. And, man, he's got 2 stand specials right behind him, Phil Nicoletti and Matt Gerke. Tyler Medaglia just losing a bit of time that lap.
The guys right there, I see, that was a launch by Gerke. I think he overjumped that table right there. So there's Cart right there going for the Team PRMX, number 26. He is just inside that top 10, 9th position. Liam O'Farrell in that 10th spot going by right now. So as the boys make their way back to that track, like we were saying there, is Phil just kind of going to monitor and see what Dylan Wright does. Obviously, Dylan's comfortable. This is his training grounds. He knows the track. He knows the sand. Is that a smart move for a veteran like Phil, or is that kind of silly given the number 9 some confidence?
If I know Phil like I think I know Phil, I think he's going to just kind of play that that back position. Dylan Wright is so smart and fast out here that he's got to learn from him in this second moto here today and try to pounce when the lappers get thick. He's got a lot of heavy lappers coming late in the moto, making things a little dicey for these guys, and you can gain or lose a lot of time. So it's going to be interesting to see if Nicoletti can just use that to his advantage and just keep him in sight. You want to keep that number 9 in sight today. Yesterday he got away from everybody and really put a whooping on him, but today they got to keep him in sight.
Yeah, I was watching him in the practice, actually sitting with team manager Derek Schuster there in the back, and he looks like when we were talking about the way that, like, say, Jess Pettis and Dylan Wright looked against Tyler Medaglia last year, like just scrubbing and nailing and aggressive and just being so forward on the bike. And you can see right now, he's already started to stretch it out right there, maybe another second, maybe half a second that lap. So as they start coming back into our picture frame here, the number 9 Honda Canada GDR Fox leads the Rockstar Energy OTSFF Yamaha ride over top of the number 2 in that third position. That is the Monster Energy Alpine Star Pillar Kawasaki. Number 5, the teammate Monster Energy Alpine Star Pillar Kawasaki Tyler Medaglia. And the 5th position right now is Sean Moffenmeyer, who's made his way past Gaynor and Meston right now. But there it is, the 9 going across the stripe for another lap, led right here in Gopher News. And Phil, he's right there, but he did lose a bit of time that lap.
Yeah, lost a little bit of time. Gerke hanging tough in there, and Medaglia just slightly fading back a little bit. We've seen a lot faster Tyler yesterday in that first moto. Moffenmeyer up in that 5th spot, and it looks like Sam Gaynor made his way around Keelan Meston there, Galdi. So Gaynor just trying to learn the ropes of these front guys, trying to hang with them as long as he can and learn.
There's Piazza and Cartwright going by right now, and Liam O'Farrell. So our top 10 riders already gone by this stripe here at the finish line right now. Brian Cormier here in 11th spot. He's about 10 seconds back. So that top 10 position, that's the position you want, but man, that is a tough group to get into right now. Those guys are going fast.
Yeah, those, especially the top 5 guys, those factory riders, they can push the pace early on. Especially they are able to sprint, get those gaps, and then just kind of put it in a conservative mode and think about the next moto and just put in the lap times. Like you hear them all very cliche, just I'm just putting in the laps, putting in consistent laps, whatever it be. But yeah, it's early on, it's a fast pace, and who's the fastest guy out there right now? Dylan Wright, number 9.
Yeah, the number 9 right now, I was thinking he's probably just laying it down. He's like, I'm going like the next 5 laps as crazy, as fast as I can to do what Phil would want to do to him, just zap the energy, zap the confidence right out of him right now, and showcase that, the 21-year-old and the 31-year-old right now. Age is just a number as far as the Phil thing goes, but man, I'll tell you, the young guy right now is really showing the ropes. He's up over that finish line again, and he has stretched it out another half, maybe another second.
Probably
this lap right
there,
now.
Galdi, yeah, so he's slowly pulling away here, and he's going to see that, all these 180 backs, he's going to see that Nicoletti just losing that bit of time each corner. And Phil getting a little swapped out in that sand, and that's a crazy section there. You see Gerke hanging in tough, and I'm surprised that Gerke's not a little bit quicker out here. Obviously, he's won a lot of motos here in the past, and he's just not up to speed quite yet. Obviously, having that back injury over the wintertime has caused him to have a slow start to the season.
Man, the smoothness and calculated look that Dylan Wright has right now he looks so veteran-like on that bike. The 450 not bossing him around at all. The number 9 Honda Canada GDR Fox filling the shoes of a 6-time Canadian champion, Colton Fasciotti. And man, I'll tell you, those shoes have got to be big to fill, but the mindset right now does not look like he's wearing them. There's no pressure on the team at all. He knows what he needs to do. It's like last year, we talked about it a million times. He had a new level of confidence and control, and he's applying it now in the big bike class.
Yeah, exactly that. And he's been doing a lot of training, a lot of good racing locally in the AMO Ontario Provincial Series. So he's got the reps in off the gate. So he's getting those starts that he needs, and he's got the sprint laps. He's got them figured out. Where Phil, I feel like he's going to get better as the series goes on. I haven't seen Phil race too much lately, and I think that's going to be a disadvantage for him in the early rounds. Yeah, 100%.
And of course, we go back to Walton. Phil won Walton last year. Dylan Wright won Walton last year. So they both go faster, but the last 2 years, Dylan Wright has destroyed that track on a 250. So I can only imagine it's going to be as good on that 450 because he looks so in control right now, so smart. He's taking great lines. He's being smarter there with the bike. And again, it's early on. We're only just crossed lap 4. They're on lap 5 right now. So there's so much racing to go. And that is something, like I said, that Phil told me in the trailer. We were just shooting the breeze this morning. He said, let's see what happens right around that 22 minute mark right there with the 16 minutes to go kind of thing. And we'll see what's happening then. So maybe, like we said, he's just kind of dogging right now and sort of playing the game. But man, he doesn't want to let him get too far ahead.
No, that's exactly it, and it looks like he's stretched out another second, maybe second and a half, Goldie. We're going to see those lap times coming in. Looks like Dylan Wright still under that 2-minute mark with a 1:59, and Phil Nicoletti 2:01. 2:01's matched by Matt Gerke, and then Medaglia just slipping off there. He's a 2:03 right now, and we're going to get those times as they come in. So Medaglia not having the ride, and man, I'm watching across there in those rollers, Goldie, and these guys are getting sideways every lap, very nasty bumps. And Dylan Wright clocks in another lap, and he's, oh,
wow.
Wow. That was ugly for Nicoletti.
Robert Mettler getting it all wrong right there and knocking Phil off the track. Phil's got to make a huge save. Luckily, they didn't get into that sign right there. Unbelievable. Phil is not going to be... That poor Robert Mettler is not going to be on Phil Nicoletti's Christmas list right there. That was a scary moment. Phil gets away, though, and still hangs on a second. And he really got a big yank on that lap on Gerke. Gerke must have made a mistake because now Gerke's 5 seconds behind Phil, even with that mistake that Phil just made. Yeah, so 2:05 lap time there for Gerke. Even with Nicoletti making that mistake, he was still at 2:02, and he got pushed right off the track. Dylan Wright just up to a 2 minute, so he's kind of settling in now. The sprint speed is unneeded as he's got a 7-second lead, Goldie. All right, okay, we got the top 10 guys just come by. It looks like Liam O'Farrell actually just moved by Bobby Piazza, so that might move him into that 9th position. Piazza maybe struggling on a new bike. I don't know, he might be getting tired right there because switching bikes cannot be easy. So top 10, Dylan Wright, Phil Nicoletti, Matt Gerke, Tyler Medaglia, and Sean Moffat sitting in that 5th position. Sam Gaynor, Keelan Messon, Josh Cartwright, Liam O'Farrell, and Bobby Piazza in that 10th. And look at this. We've seen the 11th place, Brian Cormier. This is going to be a great finish if he hangs on to this. That, I believe, would be his best finish ever on the number 76. And as we wait for the timestamp, 16 seconds. 11th place is already behind top 10. Oh, wow. Wow. So these guys, Dylan Wright's going to be looking ahead, and he's going to be passing a lot of lappers. We already seen these guys heavy into him. Obviously, Nicoletti having his issue early on with lappers. And right now, what I'm watching from Phil is just he doesn't have that same aggression he had yesterday in that first moto. He was very aggressive after he had that spill. Right now, he's kind of playing it more conservative, and he's just kind of going through the motions, it looks like, on a typical Phil Nicoletti style. So there they go, back into our frame right now. The number 9 in total control, and look at this, they're 5 laps of the race, and we are already into lap traffic, man. The back markers in this 450 class, there is such a big gap. Me and my Kyle, we talked about this yesterday, about talking about maybe, knocking it down to a 30-man field, maybe even a 20 in this 450 class. When we look at these times, it really is a large gap out there. There's Nicoletti going by. 2nd position, Matt Gerke still in that 3rd spot, looking good. Matt is pushing right now, and I feel like he's just kind of saving. I feel like Matt looks like he's kind of saving stuff right there, saving some time. Judging by lap times there, we got 2:03. So Nicoletti lost a lot of time there, Goldie. It's down to it's back to a 9-second gap between him and Wright, and then Gerke not too far behind, putting some good laps in. Yeah, Dylan Wright, fastest that time out all in there with that 2:02. Phil with a 2:05, so a big lap. That might have had to do with that incident we saw here right in front of us. Right there's Sam Gaynor going by in front of us, the 28 Rockstar Energy OTSFF Yamaha rider. Looking good. Love seeing this right now. Got a 6, a 5. Beating Keelan Meston. Last year, Meston owned Sam Gaynor, so I'd say Gaynor's making some strides. Yeah, so Gaynor pushing that top 5 envelope. He got it yesterday, and he's looking to get it today. But, yeah, his teammate kind of getting away from him. And it looks like Gaynor has put himself in a great spot again, just like we have alluded to before, just getting that bubble. And especially on a track like this where you don't want to be in a battle. You don't want to zap that energy early on in the series and have to spend a whole week recovering. He's going to be in a good safe spot where he can just kind of gap control between him and the guy behind him. All right, so we are 6 laps in to moto number 2 here at Gopher Dunes. Once again, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Rockstar Energy Triple Crown Series. This is round 1, but moto 2 of the 450 class. We now have a 3-moto format to make up for all the events and the COVID situation that's made us lost. And now Dylan Wright is back into our view right now because our monitor are not working right now. Not able to see exactly what's happening on every part of the track. We really appreciate everybody at home just kind of tuning in to myself, Ryan Gauld, and Kyle Thompson, just talking about the sport that we love and watching guys like Dylan Wright destroy a track that is so treacherous right now, and they still got another one to go, Kyle. Yeah, they still got another moto of this stuff. And another more than half in this one. Yeah, they'll be not coming back to this track for a whole year. They'll be glad for that because this track really beats up the body. And some guys just really enjoy the sand riding. I know Nicoletti's very strong in these conditions as well as Wright. But, and Gerke, obviously a lot of wins here in the past for the number 2 machine. He's just kind of getting through round 1. I could see Matt just kind of trying to survive. First race back after that nasty injury he suffered
in Supercross over in Germany. He's back racing with us, and it's so awesome to have the number 2 Kawasaki.
There it is, and there's the number 5 going by in front of us, T-Dags right now. A distant 4th place, not too sure if he'll be okay with that. I'm happy with that. I talked to him after his moto yesterday. Said he felt great, and he's hungry to get battle up there, but right now, it doesn't look like he's on that same speed that he had yesterday. Obviously, finished 2nd in the moto. A great ride for the veteran there, but today, not the same thing. What do you think might be the difference, Cal?
To be honest with you, maybe he just came out and he just wanted to conserve too early, and those guys got away. You've seen Dylan Wright in the high 150 lap times, or 158, 157 early on, and he was able to get out front and gap right away. And these guys just had a Tetris, like a hard pace there early on, and then, yeah, it's got away from him.
All right, coming by our straight right in front of us, Liam O'Farrell still sitting in that 9th position, but it is the number 9 at Dylan Wright up front and pulling away from the Rockstar Energy OTSFF rider, Phil Nicoletti. And the boys are going to be getting into some serious lap traffic here soon, up into basically the 15th place riders. And we haven't even hit the halfway mark yet. Like, it's a lot of guys right now are already struggling, getting tired. There's Dylan right now coming into our frame where we can see him, and he is definitely lapping up. He just passed Blair Nada, which is that's 15th position. So he's already lapped into 15th, and we haven't hit Reed halfway in this race. So the amount of speed that these guys are carrying is unbelievable right now. You gotta just respect it. You gotta respect the game, as they like to say. That what they're doing is amazing.
Yeah, they're coming up. He's gonna be coming up lapping Yannick Boucher here soon, and Yannick riding that Husqvarna Bailey's Motorsport ride, and man, a good rider in his own right. But these guys, not even halfway, lapping up into the top 15. That's how fast the top guys are, Galdi. It's insane what they, the speed they can carry around this
Yannick Boucher, you're talking about 33 right now, sitting in that 14th spot, just did a 2:20 on that lap, and Dylan Wright did a 2:03. 17 seconds difference right now between these guys, and Yannick Boucher is fast. He goes good at it. He's sitting in 14th in this class right now. So the speed that Dylan Wright is carrying is just absolutely impressive right now. And Honda Canada GDR Fox, I've seen 6-time Cole Fasciotti up there. He's kind of doing on the techie side of things, while Derek does the track work here at the races. And they got a group, they put in the work, and it's showing right now. It is really showing right now, because, I mean, you rarely see a guy like that be able to jump from the 250 right up to the 450 and be that good, be that strong. To be honest with you, the last time something like that happened, Tyler Medaglia from 07 to 08 was a year that he went from the 250 class to the 450 class, and he led the championship all the way to like round 7, I think it was, because Fasciotti broke his collarbone and missed the whole round. And anyway, just those kind of storylines are few and far between, so it's very impressive to see.
Yeah, a rookie coming out here and not riding like a rookie at all, and just being so solid on the bike and just looks so comfortable early on here. And he's got about a 9-second lead on Phil Nicoletti. So Phil Nicoletti still within striking distance if things, you know, a little tip over, get caught up with a lapper for Dylan Wright. So Nicoletti kind of just keeping him in sight, trying to learn as much as he can from him this moto. And honestly, for Phil Nicoletti, a second after getting that crash in the first one coming from the back, it's going to feel like a nice safe ride.
Yeah, a safe ride there, and there it is, Dylan Wright one more time. Coming into our frame, the number 9 in total control right now. I like the lap inside of the top 10, or sorry, top 11. Sorry, there's Bobby Piazza, just went by our stripe in 10th place. Phil Nicoletti doing the same, not too far behind. I feel like Phil closed it in just a little. I know he lost about 0.2 of a second that last lap around. We'll see what it looks like once they cross the stripe and those times regain. And there it is, the halfway board is out. Halfway board here in moto number 2 of the 450 class, Kyle. And I feel like the sun just got a little bit hotter right there.
They just turned the oven up on us, Galdi. It is full temperature here. And yeah, Nicoletti kind of in a little bit of a gap there over Gerke, so he can kind of like lay up a bit. Obviously, he doesn't have that same pace that Dylan Wright's putting out. You know, maybe conserve some energy and really pin it on that last moto. One thing I wanted to talk about is it's crazy to see Phil actually get a hole shot. It's always him just eating roost like crazy the first couple laps, trying to work his way through, but this time put himself in the right position and drop back to second. So
I can
a little bit easier.
I don't think last year Phil ever started in a position and went backwards. Oh, wherever he started, he was always moving forwards. Whether it was second, he moved to first, or he stayed in second, you know? Yep. And right now, got that hole shot, the roaddistributor.com hole shot, and Dylan Wright has made the pass, and he has not just made the pass, he is pulling away. If you're just tuning in right now, this is moto number 2 at Gopher Dunes, our round 1 of the MX Tour portion of the Triple Crown, Rockstar MX Triple Crown Series. Moto number 1 saw Dylan Wright take the win, and we are in moto number 2, and it looks like he's going to do the same thing. Ryan Gauld, Kyle Thompson up here in the booth having fun in the sun and the beach, out in the sand right now in this air-conditioned room. It's beautiful in here.
Yeah, it's great.
Beautiful in here, Kyle.
A lot better than being out there in the trenches with the boys. These guys are really getting beat up out there. And just in front of us here, Keelan Messon, he's dropped back to a 7th place after a good start there. But soldiering on, he's got Josh Cartwright right behind him, and Liam O'Farrell not too far behind them. So the Carlson Racing Husqvarna of Keelan Messon doing well to get out here and battle near the front early on. Obviously, this track separates the boys from the men, and he's just slipping a little bit back off that top 5.
And as we're talking about the 8th, 9th position going by, there's Dylan Wright already coming in a frame. So he is lapped Ryan Cormer, who is in that 11th spot. So they're lapping in. I believe they got up to about 8th yesterday when they lapped the riders. So again, the speed that the boys are carrying at the front. There's Bobby Piazza. He is in 10th place, and man, he looks absolutely zapped out here. He comes across in front of us. And wow, the number 50 right there. And there it is, the number 9 right behind a Honda Canada GDR Fox Racing. Number 9, Dylan Wright. There's not much more you can say right now. He is decimating the field. He is in total control out here. Lap traffic, not that bad an issue. Phil Nicoletti had a bit of a moment there. He's crossing the stripe right now, still into that 2nd spot. And I don't know if Phil will be happy or mad with this right now because the smackdown that Dylan Wright is doing, but you can go back to the drawing board, but only an hour. You only got that hour. Yeah. There isn't that break like they had yesterday.
Small drawing
board.
Dwell on it. A couple post-it notes about this. But yeah, no, he's not going to love that, but maybe he can go back and figure out some lines after this. Just talk to his mechanic. Maybe they're seeing a little bit better. And man, it just brings me to the fact like maybe that Cardo system, the in-ear system, a spotter, might have helped Phil a little bit here. You got you got Steve Sims in your ear telling you like, hey, this is where you're losing time, this is where you're gaining time, and that's just something that Parts Canada brings to us. Those cool systems that you can just have a sideline radio spotter and man, right in your ear instead of pit board.
I see a lot of the parents are using them in the tyke stuff that we have at our local AMO races. So it's a thing out there for sure. I always talk about what could they say, what could make things better out there, but maybe this is one of those times where it could, have a positive reaction out there. Good shot right now in front of us. Rockstar Energy OTS FF Yamaha Sam Gaynor still sitting in that 6th position. A good job out there by that 2nd-year pro on the number 28. And Mitch Rempel, the 577, he cruises by. He's sitting in 18th position. Poor Mitch is the guy that we had the two-minute board yesterday. Blew his starter.
Oh, no way.
Couldn't get his bike started in his bike, so that was the reason we had to wait there yesterday. We were kind of wondering in here, we're sitting like, what's happening on there? That was the problem.
Yeah, so just coming by the stripe in front of us, Keelan Messon still sitting 7th, and Josh Cartwright, the PRMX Kawasaki rider, he's sitting 8th. He's got Liam O'Farrell, the vet rider, the 9-to-5er, we'll call him. He's sitting in that 9th spot there.
Okay, so we are past the halfway mark here in moto number 2 of our 450 class. It is super hot out there right now. Once again, we got no spectators on the property. It's a very strange scene, if you will, during these COVID times, but the gate is dropped. We're back racing again. Rockstar in a Triple Crown Series. And Dylan Wright going by one more time, the number 9, leading the way. Phil Nicoletti, the 54, he's coming by there, 2nd spot. 11.6 at the turn last time. This lap now, it is 11.1, so Phil actually closed it in a half a second that lap.
Yeah, a little bit quicker lap time. There's Gerke going by the stripe, and Gerke's been putting in some good laps. Both of those guys starting to pick it up here. We got about 7 laps to go, so there's still lots of ground to cover. And right there, out of the top 3, Phil Nicoletti with the fastest lap time, a 2:04.9. So maybe he's finding another gear or just able to get through the lappers a little cleaner than Dylan Wright. We're going to soon find out. But I think, if anything, Phil needs to take some positives from this. He got a great start. He was able to keep Dylan in sight for a while. And if he can start putting some good laps here to finish out this 2nd moto, with some good lap times, he's going to have that positive to put in his bag and take to that 3rd moto.
Yeah, there's no way he's doing that. He's going to be angry. That's what he is. He's going to be angry. I like your spin, though.
Yeah,
I like that spin. That was good. That was good effort right there, for sure. All right, as we're watching a few of those lap traffic coming by right now, just waiting to see where that number 9 is coming back into our frame. Once again, we appreciate everybody tuning in at home. Myself and Kyle Tom's right now are basically calling a race. Excuse me. Without a monitor in front of us right now because we're having some technical difficulties. So we're kind of calling for what we could see once they come back into our area here. And what we are seeing is that number 9, he is dominating right now. Liam O'Farrell just in front of him. That is in your 9th position. So the number 9, Honda Canada GDR Fox, lapping up into the top 10 again here in moto number 2. And he looks good doing it. I watching him ride too, like 0 mistakes, 0, like it doesn't look like he's stressing or pumping up or Hey, man, the bike and him are just all one right now, and he's looking and he's in great control. It's very cool to see.
Yeah, very awesome. Just seeing Phil come by the old finish line, the dirty jump there. He wasn't able to do it with the lapper in front of him. So just dealing with those issues, you know, that costs you a half a second there. And he knows that he's got Matt Gerke right behind him. So Matt Gerke 4 or 5 seconds behind. Phil doesn't have the room to make the mistakes, you know, and Dylan just able to have that big gap, that 12-second gap, and he just keeps pulling. And it looks
Dylan
like
Wright just flying by. That was his 12th lap. I believe yesterday we did 16 laps, I think it was. So should be about maybe four or five to go here, depending on how they cross the stripe. I feel like the track is rougher, but they're kind of, the times are very similar to what they were yesterday, right around that 2 to 2:05 mark. Matt Gerke coming by the stripe right now, still sitting in that third spot. He is 8 seconds back of Phil. So Phil all by himself, and it was 11.1 last lap. Now it's up to 14 seconds for Dylan Wright over Phil Nicoletti.
Yeah, so having those mistakes, Matt Gerke slowed up that lap. He's about 9 seconds behind Phil now. And Medaglia, last lap around, he was 22 seconds behind his teammate. Not the moto he wanted. He's just going by the stripe now. He's putting in the paces, and he's got one more moto on the weekend to try to redeem himself. And I'm impressed with Moffenbauer. He's keeping Medaglia in sight, just a little closer this time. Obviously, he had that bad start yesterday. And, man, a lot better speed out of the number 3 Rockstar rider. And coming into a track like Walton, you know Sean Moffenbauer grew up in the Swift Current clay. He's going to be a little bit stronger once we go to Walton. Yeah, 100% right there. Just another thing, looking at the times. Not really any battle on the track between everybody. The smallest gap is about a 4-second gap between some of the guys inside that top 10. So the track, it's got to be the track taking its toll, and the guys are just settling in and kind of just hanging in there on the wherever they're sitting in that position right now, because there is 0 battles. O'Farrell is maybe, I think that's the closest one on the track. They were between O'Farrell and Meston. It was 4.2 last time there between 7th and 8th position. So not a lot of battling going on. It's like to sometimes call it's a bit of a yawner as far as the action goes. But I think this is the way you like it if you're number 9. Yeah, you're going to like that. And obviously the other guys, anybody behind him is not going to love it. And yeah, you're right. It gets separated because it gets so rough. And then they start dealing with lappers. And these guys, like I said, Dylan Wright already caught up. He's just coming up on the backside of Liam O'Farrell and Keelan Meston. So these guys well into the top 10 there. And yeah, Dylan Wright's passing guys that are in the 15 to 20. Plus he's passing guys in the top 10. So he's dealing with a lot of traffic. Crazy how that all works out right there. Great job out here by the Honda Canada GDR Fox rider, Dylan Wright, number 9, looking to make a 1-1 to start this 3-moto format. Nicoletti going by on the 54 right there. Looks like Phil might have been, looks like he might be settling. Looks kind of relaxed as he's come by right there. Not so aggressive, not so nasty. Kind of maybe just going to take that second here, go back to the drawing board in that hour between motos and kind of maybe figure something out. But is there something they could change to close a 14-second gap? That's a big gap. Yeah, they're just going to hope for a bad start out of the number 9 and make him work a little harder. He's been up in about the 2nd, 3rd position off both starts, so that's the only thing they can hope for right now is he have to deal with a little bit more traffic early on, but he's just so fast. He's able to knife through those guys, no problem. All right, so the rest of the riders, just Sean Moffenbauer come by. He's still sitting in that 5th position. The number 3 Rockstar Energy OTSFF rider having a great ride out here, looking good for sure. Back to that number 9 and the number 54. It looks like I'd say that those guys are the elite right now after these first 2 motos. We did have T-Dykes split them yesterday in moto number 1. And we kind of talked about that with this 3-moto format. We're going to get that first moto is going to have, it's not a surprise seeing T-Dykes, but he's not even in the vicinity this race. So I guess yesterday might have been a surprise. Yeah, so it's yeah, definitely off the back this moto, but he can redeem himself. We know T-Dykes got always more in the tank. The guy lives on 2 wheels, so look for him to bounce back this moto and, you know, or sorry, next moto and carry on and try to go into Walton with a little bit more momentum and confidence. That last lap there for Dylan Wright at 2:05, so even himself, the leader right now, even how dominant he is getting a little bit slower. So the track just falling apart more and more, and we see that he's now lapped Liam O'Farrell, so he's lapped up into the top 8 of this class. Oh my God, he is absolutely demolishing the field and stealing any bit of confidence any other rider might have out here. Yeah, so he's got a whole straightaway and a half on Nicoletti. Nicoletti's got about a straightaway on Gerke. So these guys well separated this second moto, first moto on Sunday. And yeah, there's just not enough good things to say about the number 9, just how impressive he is on this track, on that new 450. And the GDR crew has got to be happy with what they got. They got a young rider, McNabb, just got one of his best finishes in his first moto, 6th place as a 14-year-old. And then Tanner Ward onto the podium, and now Dylan Wright leading the way of the 450. They got to be thrilled.
I heard there's going to be a celebration at the shop later on. If he continues this way, digs his credit cards out there, he's going to lay down some beverages and food for everybody. That's what I heard.
Cover all the cost.
His lovely wife is near us by here, and she's smiling at us. She's not really liking that joke very much right now. But here you are again. Once again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Round number 1 here of the Rockstar Energy Triple Crown Series here in 2020. The COVID times, and we are back racing, and we are stoked about it here at Gopher Dunes, man. I'll tell you what, the track is rough right now. Number 9 leading the way late here in Moto number 2. We got to be getting ready, I feel, to get that 2-board out here at some point. If they drop that gate, Moto started at 1:15, gone up on 1:45 right now, so 30 minutes. So yeah, about maybe a lap or so before we see that 2-lap board out here, Kyle.
Yeah, it's getting close, and man, does this ever feel long? And I can't imagine. We're sitting here in a nice air-conditioned booth. It has got to be so long for these guys spinning laps in this heat, just dealing with sand bumps, sand burns everywhere.
Back in my day, we did 4 motos, 2 different brands. I don't really think these guys are that tough.
All in one day.
No, for sure. The battle of attrition, as they like to say out there. We're seeing some of the guys coming by that are in your 18th, 20th, 25th. They're barely moving. They're barely getting around this course right now. It is that difficult and that hot and that crazy out there. But the number 9 not having a problem right now. So that running order once again. Dylan Wright up front on the Honda Canada GDR Fox ride. Then it's Phil Nicoletti. Then it's Matt Gerke, Tyler Medallia, Sean Moffenbauer sitting in that 5th spot. Sam Gaynor, Keelan Meston, Liam O'Farrell, Josh Cartwright, and Bobby Piazza in that top 10. 11, Brian Cormier. 12, Parker Eels. 13, Yannick Boucher. 14, Blair Nada. 15, Ryan Derry. 16th place, Derek Ham. 17, Brock Kelly. Mitch Rempel, Max Philippek, and Zach Zager, your top 20 there. So those are your point getters here in Moto number 2 as we get ready. The 2-board looks like it's going to come out the next time around here. So we got 3 laps to go as Dylan just crossed the line.
Yeah, it looks like they just beat the clock there, Galdi. It looks like the finish line guy was ready to go with the 2-board, but they just beat the clock by seconds. So.
Oh, that hates it.
Oh,
we hate Dylan. Every rider out there hates Dylan Wright if they know what time it is on their clock.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, the guy could have thrown him a bone, though. You know, I mean, just give
could have slowed down a little bit.
Nobody's gonna know.
There, Matt Gerke going by. Matt Gerke having a quiet but solid ride out there. Number 2, we have seen him have some dominating performances out here. And again, that injury just coming back into the series right now. And you got to give him credit. He's pounding at the motors, getting a 3rd yesterday, a 4th, 3rd here, sitting in a good podium position. His teammate, Monster Energy Alpine star Pillar Kawasaki, there, Tyler Medallia. He's crossing front to sit in 4th position. He's laboring a little bit right now. The heat and the track is getting to these guys for sure.
Yeah, the heat is definitely zapping these guys' energy, and then these bumps are just getting bigger by the minute. And there you go, Sean Moffenbauer coming by in that 5th spot. Another good ride out of Sean. We've seen him get 6th yesterday in that first moto right behind his teammate Sam Gaynor. And Sam Gaynor now sitting in 6th. So those guys swapping out. We'll have to see who can get the better of that last moto to get that top 5 overall. But right now, it's just what I see and what you're seeing here is a lot of guys laboring hard. This is a tough track. The only one that I see that's not laboring is that number 9. I feel like he could do the whole hour moto plus 2 laps right in one swipe. But yeah, this track is really beating some guys up.
There he is rolling into our frame, getting into some lap traffic. Once again, lap these riders that he's coming up on here probably twice, maybe even 3 times in this moto. And there it is. The 2-lap board is coming out in front of us here. He's got about 2 turns to get to it. This is a dominating performance right now. Definitely zapping the confidence out of any rider that thought he was going to do it. There was some talk this week. Could he win motos? Could he do this? I had him picked for 1 moto win this weekend. I did not picture this coming. 1 more turn, and we got 2 laps to go here, Kyle, in moto number 2, and man, he's in total control.
That's a sight for sore eyes. That number 2 board out there, flashing for these riders going by. And, you know, not a horrible moto for Nicoletti. He, you know, lost a little bit of time here and there, but he's within that, you know, couple straightaways where, you know, he's got to take some positives from this. I know he's going to be mad. You know, Phil, he gets angry. He wants to be the top guy. He wants to be the top of the box. But like you said, he wants to be on the box every time, and I think that's going to be what is doable right now early on in the season.
100% for sure. You got to do that all year long. And here's Matt Gerke, the number 2, coming through, doing a great job. About a lap and a half to go now for Dylan Wright on the number 9 Honda Canada GDR Fox, backing him up. And God, I don't even know what I would do if I'm coming back to the teams right here. Just kind of like, well, go out there and see what you can do in this next moto, because right now the 9 has got this. There's total control out there for sure. And, man, the confidence he must have, the way that he's destroying this track and just massaging it. He's making it look smooth. He's making it look easy. And it is by far not even close to being easy out there.
No, it is a demanding track, and these guys are getting up to, in this lap around, Dylan Wright will possibly lap Sam Gaynor, who's sitting in 6th place. So he's lapping up to the top 5. Even if Dylan Wright gave these guys a head start by a lap, he would still finish top 5. That's incredible speed.
That is an insurmountable gap right now that you're not going to be able to just figure out in an hour or maybe even 2 weeks' time to Walton right now. There's going to be a lot of work going on for these guys in behind that number 9 plate right there. This is Bobby Piazza rolling around in front of us. Good job by that privateer out of the U.S. coming up in quarantine, like you said earlier, living in Canada with his girlfriend for the last 2 weeks. He's kind of taking it all in. Not really much they could do. They weren't allowed to go anywhere, not allowed to go to stores the way that the guidelines under the Canadian government. So crazy stuff as we see the number 9 one more time. He's got about 3 corners to go, and then that white flag will come out. I wonder if he wants to go again. Maybe just let him keep going.
Yeah.
I actually talked to team manager Derek Schuessler. They talked about fuel. They had to change some settings in the bike, actually, in the timing settings, to make it so they had just a little bit more fuel. Yesterday, there was just a little bit left, like maybe a half a liter or something like that. So it's they made a couple changes here. It'll be interesting to see what the tank looks like. And this one here, getting messages saying, oh, the moto might be a little bit long. Moto started 115. It's 148 right now. That's 30 plus 1. Now it is 30 plus 2 right here. The last lap flag is out. White flag out for the number 9, Kyle.
Yeah, number 9 going to run away with this one again. Another 15-second gap over the competition. Nicoletti had his best shot so far in the series to pull away, but he wasn't able to capitalize and match the speed of the number 9. So Nicoletti sitting in that 2nd spot. He's going to have to regroup. He's only got a short period of time to rest up, get rinsed off, and get that bike ready to go. Obviously, his mechanic will be working hard to get that thing ready to go. Another good ride by Matt Gerke. Obviously lost that 3rd spot in the last corner yesterday to Nicoletti. So another great ride. He's going to be on the podium this moto if everything goes right this last lap. And Medaglia, a distant 4th, so he's not going to be thrilled with that. Looks like he's about 20 seconds behind his teammate there. He's going to have to really do some work this next moto, get himself back on that box going forward.
Oh, he just launched that jump right in front of us. There are a couple kickers. You got to think, too, we're looking at this one jump that's in front of us. The ruts are getting deeper and deeper as the boys keep hitting them. They just keep getting going. The foot peg's going to be dragging here in this next couple motos. The 250 guys, staging has already closed for their moto, so they're going to get ready to go. And that gate drops on the 250 at 2:15, so we're about 25 minutes from that drop. So they go back, the track gets groomed up a little bit here, then boom, we're right back into 250s. Man, there's really not that much time anymore for these guys to get ready for their motos. It's pretty crazy to think how good of athletes they are to make sure they get out there and still match those times. Obviously, you know, your Dylan Wrights, your Phil Nicoletti's, Gerke's are that little bit above, but everybody else, it's impressive. You got to give a lot of respect out there to these guys doing these things.
Yeah. So Dylan Wright just coming up over the dirty, the old finish line. He's got a good margin over that 54 machine of Nicoletti, so he can really soak in this last couple corners, and a good job well done by the number 9 machine. GDR Honda Fox Racing, Dylan Wright, just an impressive start to his rookie season.
Oh, poor Roulette there. He probably should have waited. I don't know if he wanted to do another lap. He was looking at the referee. But here we go into the final turn one more time to start off the 3-moto format with a 1-1 Honda Canada GDR Fox. Dylan Wright, the number 9, takes another win in dominating fashion out here. Wow, and he lapped Sam Gaynor on that lap, Kyle. That is lapping up into 6th position.
Yeah, lapped up to the 5th position. So the next person on the docket would have been Sean Moffenbauer, who's sitting 5th. So Moffenbauer getting around that lap, he can walk his bike to the finish line and still finish 5th there.
Crazy, crazy race out there. Congrats to Dylan Wright. What a great ride out there. And look at this, O'Farrell and Meston. Finally, we got a battle right to the last flag. They just come across there. O'Farrell hangs on to that 7th spot for the working class man, like you like to call him right there.
Yeah, the 9-to-5er. So good job by Liam O'Farrell getting that 7th spot, passing the Carlson Racing Husqvarna on the last section there. Gerke ending up 3rd, just waiting for Medaglia to come around. Tyler is going to end up 4th with Moffenbauer 5th, so rounding out that top 5.
Great job out there, Kyle. No monitor. We're still calling racing. It's a good time. I'm going to head to the podium and talk to the fellas.
Yeah, we're going to send it to a quick commercial break. We'll be
before the lights, before the cameras, before the crowd roar.
The books, and once again, it was the dominating fashion of the number 9, Dylan Wright. Oh my God, dude, you are destroying the track. You're making it look easy. We know it's not.
talk to us about it out there. Phil gets the whole shot. We thought he might hang in there, but you got in front and just tried to put in like 5 laps and just destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, my proven moto, Honda Canada GDR Fox Racing bike got me off to another good start. I thought I was going to have the whole shot there, but Tyler and I drifted a little wide, and Phil was able to capitalize on that and kind of get the whole shot on us. And was able to make a quick first turn pass here through a rough section. I just put my head down, and I didn't want to eat too much juice. It's hot today, so just kind of charged 3-4 laps there until I got a little bit of a lead, and just was trying to conserve some energy for this second moto because she's going to be hot and she's going to be even gnarlier than that moto was. So can't thank my whole team at Honda Canada GDR, Fox Racing, my mechanic Justin, Colton Fasciati, my fiance, my parents, just everybody helped me out. Hopefully we can make it 3 for 3 in this next third moto.
All right, Dylan, we'll let you get back in the pits there. We'll get Phil Nicoletti. He's going to wander up onto the stage right now live. You hear him right there, boys. He is stoked and ready, but he is tired. You can hear it in his voice. Phil Nicoletti coming in, getting that moto3.com whole shot. Phil, probably not the moto that you wanted right there, but you know what? A second spot's better than yesterday, and you got one more to go, and we know how tough you are, but give me your talk about it. I mean, it's hot, it's gnarly. They're not grooming. We do hear a tractor right now, what they're doing in the faces. Just tell me from your perspective, how was that race?
Yeah, it's I tried to hang with Dylan. Obviously, I lost the coattail a little bit, and then kind of he had a little gap, and then we kind of just stayed the same and just put our laps in, you know. Changed up my lines a little bit. I was kind of bulldog and stuff. Wasn't really working, but track is absolutely gnarly. We'll see how it goes for the next one. Try and go back, get recovered, and we'll see. I'd just like to thank the Rockstar Energy OTSFF bike for getting me out there, and yeah, FXR 60 helmets, Alpine Star boots. We're ready to rock and roll. It's a long season yet, and yeah, we'll see how she goes.
All right, Phil, we'll let you get back to the pits right there. An amazing ride by this guy. Gets zapped in the final turn yesterday. Well, we got to do the mic thing here. We got to step away, buddy. All right, it's all good. But great job, Matt Kirky, man. Yesterday, get zapped in that last one. Probably a bit frustrating, but a nice, solid, very quiet ride, though. You got to feel good about it, I think, with, I mean, how tough this place looks right now.
Yeah, it's gnarly for my first race back after breaking my back. Yeah, yesterday I wasn't that great. We made some changes. I was a little better today. Bike is great. It's lasting the motos, no problem. Trying to make some changes, be a little better next moto. And I just want to thank my whole team. They've been working so hard for this season. Monster Energy, Kawasaki, all them, Huber Motorsports. Everybody's been great. Thanks.
Great job, Matt Kirk. Great to see him up there. There you go, boys. The top 3 right there, and you can tell in their voices. They're tired, Kyle. This is going to be a long day. Moto number 3 out of the 3 moto format between the 250 and 450. It's going to be a gnarly one. Let's send her back in the booth.
So, to be honest with you, if I'm going to call the shots, I think Pettis, confidence that KTM's always up front early. I'm going to call him for a whole shot here, Galdi.
You got Pettis.
Yeah, I got Pettis. Who do you got?
I am going to go with Tanner Ward. I'm going with Tanner Ward in this
great
moto.
Starter, a lot of confidence for that Honda right now,
and
the Honda team's coming out all aces today.
Tanner Ward with the whole shot. You got Pettis. Okay. Is Pettis going 1-1-1?
Heck yeah. 1-1-1 for the KTM squad, and I see that with the Honda squad, 450.
Yeah.
Just too good right now.
The gate is down out there now. Who's going to grab that? moto3.com whole shot once again. We're going to wait for our staff to give us the update on that one right there to see who gets it. The boys, 40 riders funneled into that big, huge Talladega-style turn right now. Could it be Pettis? Could it be Ward? I think it's Ward. I think we got Ward over there. We're going to get Ward here. We're going to get that name on the radio right now. Just wait again. Once again, the monitor not working in front, so we're just waiting till they come into frame before we can really make a hard call on who it is out in the front of that pack. Ooh, I feel like I saw Thor gear with a pink jersey. That's a Pettis. That's a Pettis out there, I believe. Coming up to the step up, there it is. It is the number 15 factory KTM Thor Red Bull rider, Jess Pettis up front. That is not good for the competition, Kyle.
Yeah, it looks like, is that
Piccolo?
Piccolo, sorry, yeah. Piccolo up there, great start from BC native. And Marshall Welton, another good start, putting himself in a good position to try to get up front early. Surratt sitting 4th, Tanner Ward. Looks like Quinn Amiot, another great start.
All right, so they're coming into us right now, getting ready to come across the stripe. And it's going to be the 15 of Pettis with Piccolo, a rookie here in this class. Right there, a true rookie on KTM, first-year pro for them. So Pettis, Piccolo, Welton, 1, 2, 3. Here comes Ward. Whoa, Ward and Surratt getting together right now. Surratt jumps the berm and chops the front wheel right there. And Canelo, whoa, Halstead and Rich Taylor hit each other. Halstead's off the track. He makes a big save. So action is hot at the front of the pack here, Kyle.
Yeah, these guys seem hungry all the way through the pack here, right to the 15th place. Davey Fraser, a bad start for him as he comes by the stripe there.
I saw Mackay go by, another bad start for him as well out there. So it was, the whole shot went to roadstripping.com for Jess Pettis, so he gets moto number 1 and moto number 3. Doesn't get the clean sweep on it, man, but he's looking good to do it here in the motos right now, leading the way as the Duncan McLeod right now hanging on to the back end of this first lap coming here. So not a great start for the number 71 at Duncan McLeod. But Pettis, again there, Kyle, man, out front doing his thing, and he is looking to go 1-1-1 and leave here with that red plate, which he's held many times before in the series.
Yeah, as we've seen it many times last year, he had a bit of a struggle coming into this series with a broken wrist. He was able to just kind of trudge through there, get himself into that second spot for the series, but yeah, just a little bit, not enough juice in the tank there late in the year to beat Dylan Wright. He was on fire, and yeah, Pettis back here again and starting the series strong. Couple hole shots, couple moto wins so far, and let's see if he can close it up with a clean sweep at the dunes.
And as it stands right now, obviously it's way early in this moto, but after that first lap, it would be Pettis, Welton, and Ward on the podium. We got that scoring thing right beside us that adds up. It basically has changes as the laps go and as they change position. So very cool. We'll be able to update you who the podium will be as we're getting going right now. So it is still Pettis up front, no problem.
Piccolo.
And Piccolo is putting pressure on him right now. Piccolo is not letting Pettis get away. Piccolo has raw speed like you've never seen before. He just kind of always seems to hit the dirt in odd times and moments like that. On my local race here, he crashed 17 times and it was only like a 10-lap race. So, but the speed is unbelievable, and he's showing it right now. He is all over the back end of Pettis.
Yeah, one thing that we're going to keep an eye on is the Surratt, Canella, and Ward battle. These three have finished kind of back-to-back in the first two motos, and now they are 4, 5, and 6 in this moto. Awesome job so far by Piccolo, actually pressuring and looking to pass the number 15 machine of Jess Pettis. Unreal out of a young kid. We've seen some young talent earlier. McNabb get that 6th place. Now Piccolo's turn at bat. He's going to come out here, and it looks like McNabb is going to be fighting from about 11th or 12th.
Piccolo 23rd in that middle moto, too, so he had a big issue in that one after getting an 8th in the moto number 1. So there we go. Boys going by. McNabb just going by there. You were just referring to him. He went down. He must have crashed a little bit on that lap. Christopher De Silva down in that turn right now by us as well. So the track is tough right now, Kyle. Lots of guys going down. And, of course, the first couple laps of a 250 class, everybody's just pinned wide open, crossing, and cut everybody off. And we saw some hot stuff right in front of us there. Do you think that Ward might have something a little bit for Surratt with that berm jump? A little bit of, not cross jump, sorry, but just to kind of hop that berm and chop that line.
Yeah, so they coming into the corner, Tanner Ward chopped Surratt. Surratt came right back under him, and it's very cool to see in that last corner section that versatile to be able to make 2 passes on each other and still come out pretty clean. But the guy I'm pumped on right now, the 381 of Jacob Piccolo, the young rider for KTM, and he's going to try to fill the shoes of Pettis in the future. So this is good, learning from the top dog right now, and he could be the guy that rolls into that 250 class and that 250 ride for the KTM Red Bull team. So fastest lap on track, 2:05, Jacob Piccolo, and this track has slowed down a lot since the first day there. So Piccolo, throw a blanket over those two. They're right together again. Awesome
Kyle,
ride.
this is uber impressive right now. It is early on, but Jacob Piccolo, the young kid out of BC on the semi-help privateered kind of KTM, is putting the pressure on the former 250 champion. And to tell you right now, if the kid can stay there, it's just be confident and settle, he can hang on to a podium because the top 3 guys are way ahead of the Rexburg track right now.
Yeah, unreal pace, and just sitting in a sandwich of 2 experienced riders. Got Pettis in front of him, Marshall Welton right behind him.
Marshall Welton's probably wondering who this kid is. Who's this? He doesn't know how to say his name. And look at this. Ward has made the pass on Surratt as well. So he's solidifying, trying to hang on to that 3rd overall here today.
Yeah, and Canella just in tow there. So Canella's got his work cut out for him. Quinn Amiot out to another great start. He's sitting in 7th there. Great job by him. And yeah, just all the guys that have been up there in that top 10 find themselves up there again, with the exception of Piccolo. Great start there to this moto. Rich Taylor coming by the stripe there. He's struggling a bit.
So you think if you're Jess Pettis right now, you're leading this race, you're comfy, you're feeling good all day long, you've gone 1-1 so far, and you look back and you see Piccolo. Does that make it easier for you, or you're just going, wait a minute, what's going on here? Do I have to pick up the pace?
He's got probably mixed feelings there. He's got his, not so much, he's not his teammate quite yet, but he's his B-ride in the KTM pits. He doesn't want to let another orange bike go by him, but he also doesn't want to push too hard. So I think he's just got to wear the young kid down, and we'll see if Piccolo can hang pace and how long he can hang pace for.
All right, so here we are, everybody tuning in live. Thank you so much. This is moto number 3 of the 250 class here at Gopher. This is round 1 of the Rockstar Energy Triple Crown Series, the MX Tour portion of this tour right here, and lots of things going on, lots of changes, the schedule, the motos, everything it is. But we got 3 motos now for each division, and it's awesome to see because this is the storylines you got right here. Guys like Piccolo, out of 3 chances, maybe this is the one where he's like, wow, puts his name on the map.
Yeah, there you go. And it looks like he's dropped into the third there. Marshall Welton getting by him. So Pettis, now we got Welton right in his rearview mirror. Can Welton put a tire in there, put a wheel in there, really show him that, hey, you know what, this isn't going to be as easy as you thought it was.
Ooh, a little mistake, sorry to interrupt you, a bit of a mistake by Pettis right there. Now Welton is all over them. We lose him just for a second around this back of this berm. Maybe trying an inside line. Welton and Pettis going at it. Welton he's fighting right now. He wants a moto win. On the last moto there, you heard swearing. He was upset the fact that he had that crash and threw it away. He wants to put the pressure on Pettis.
Man, this last corner, very cool to see these guys. They're both launching that table into those rollers, and it looks like Welton is going to make that pass there up the inside. Awesome battle at the front of the pack there. Those guys are going at it, and it looks like right there, Welton just jumped to the fastest lap time, 2:04. And
wow,
we're still early in this moto, Galdi. We're about 7.5 minutes into this moto, so lots of room to go. We got a 25+2 for these guys, so we'll see
on that lap, too, Canella's now moves way past Surratt as well, which helps the overall. That would give Canella 4th overall. Ward right now, so the overall for that 3rd spot on the podium right now is between Canella and Ward, which is pretty funny because they've been racing each other basically forever.
Yeah.
So either one of them fighting. Actually, Canella got that podium 2 years ago at Walton, so that wouldn't be his first. But then, and same with Tanner Ward, got a couple podiums before. So not the first time these guys have seen it, but very cool to see those are the 2 that are battling for it.
Yeah, pretty awesome to see these guys have a long history of racing together, and it's so cool to see that they're still out there battling in similar speed, you know, from 50s to 60s to 80s up to intermediate ranks and into the pro class. These guys have been tooth and nail for a long time here, Galdi, and man, they're having at it here. And man, still impressive that Surratt up in that top 6 right now. Obviously Piccolo in that. The only guy that was out of the top 5 the last couple motos is sticking it out there and learning from the best.
Want to give a shout out there, 10th place, Tyler Gibbs. Had an awful first moto. He just seems like he's getting better every time he touches the track.
Yep, so he got 12th, and it looks like, there you go.
Welton is leading. Good job on that, Kyle. They're catching that. So now Marshall Welton is leading here in the early stages of moto. Wait a minute, now we just lost Welton. There he is. He just fell. He fell just before the old finish line, Kyle. There he is coming over right now. Another crash out of nowhere for Marshall Welton. We have not seen this guy hitting the dirt like this since he's been coming to Canada. Man, he takes the lead, throws it. He is not going to be happy about that right now, but maybe it's just going to fire him up and he's going to battle in, but kind of giving it to Pettis. They're just kind of handing it to him right now, Kyle.
You can't be giving a guy that's so fast like that. You know, Pettis just going to probably lay up in this moto. He has the 1-1 coming in. We're not having to win this moto, and you're just going to give him that, you know, lead back. And look at that. Piccolo still hanging in there. Impressive to see him in second. And Welton, now he's going to be mad. He's got, you know, about 20 minutes left in this moto, and he's got to do some work. Tanner Ward holding down that 4th spot. Gapped out Canella just a bit that last lap, but Canella holding strong in 5th.
All right, so we are now 5 laps into moto number 3 here, and Jess Pettis leading the way. Maybe can become the first rider to go 1-1-1 for all of the marbles here in the first race of 2020 under a 3-moto format. Right there, that rider, we just had a crossbody out there. That rider is okay. They're up and on. So it was on the big dirty, as they call it here. I don't know if I like that name for a jump.
No,
it is covered in sand, though, I guess, so it makes sense.
I don't know. I don't know if I even jump it. Galdi coming up that section. Super rough turning corner, and yeah, it's a big one. And through those nasty sand ruts, these guys
waiting
are going
for a refresh there to see where our young starter McNabb is, up to 12th position in this moto. So not having the same kind of luck as that other one, but still riding really good out there for that young kid out of Manitoba right there. Kind of putting Manitoba on the map, as we've been calling it here lately, and showing his wares, doing a good job out there. Back to the front of the pack, though. Jess Pettis looking to do the 1-1-1. Now he looks back again. He sees Welton's not there. Well, he actually saw Welton crash because it happened in front of him. Sees Piccolo again. I think now it's like, it's okay, kid. Just kind of lag on to me. Couple BC boys, stick with me, kid. Just kind of jump in, put a hook in my tire, and I'll take you to the podium.
I'll take you to the promised land. There you go.
Take you to the promised land.
It'd be impressive. So Piccolo still in second, but losing a little bit of time. Just waiting for Welton to come through there, the pitcher. And yeah, no sign of Welton there. That's that jump. He has lost a bunch of time.
Wow, have we lost Welton again now? It looks like we've lost Welton one more time, because there is T. Ward. Whoa, T. Ward coming up really short on that old finish line. So now Tanner Ward is into that 3rd position. Canella into that 4th position. So A big turn of events going on here, Kyle. What has gone on with Marshall Welton? It looks like he might not even be in this race. We still have not spotted him yet.
Yeah, he's up, just getting up to that dirty jump we were just speaking of. So more mistakes out of the 19. And this is way too early for that, Goldie. We're only the third moto into this 14 moto series, and he's giving up precious points where he's one of the fastest guys out here. He doesn't need to be doing that. So let's see if he can make a charge. Ryan Surratt not too far in front of him. Tanner Ward, Marco Canella, a good 20 seconds in front of Marshall Welton now. So Welton is going to have to do some fighting. And it looks like his bike a little twisted up. Not too bad. He's going to be able to fight through this one. He's a great sand rider, good speed, and just very unfortunate after getting that lead from Pettis.
Maybe pushing just that little bit too hard. Sometimes you get out there, you get that mojo going, he gets the lead, and maybe just said, okay, I got to go, I got to push, and then he crashes. Gets up, gets that anger going maybe, and then all of a sudden it just kind of happens again. That's just kind of the way the cookie could crumble out here at Gopher Dunes. You can be going so fast 1 minute, and the next thing you're on the ground.
Yeah, so going through the top 10 there, Goldie. Pettis taking that lead. He's got about a 5-second lead over his KTM teammate there, Jacob Piccolo. Piccolo, a young rookie, doing awesome here. Good to see him up there. And Tanner Ward sitting in third. He's a bit of time behind. He's got about 11 seconds to catch up to Piccolo. Marco Canella not too far behind him, about 4 seconds. Ryan Surratt sitting fifth, about 7 down from Canella. Then we got Marshall Welton rebounding up to 6th. Quinn Amiot, a great ride. And guess who's behind Quinn Amiot? Hayden Halstead.
Is this going to be all year, you think? That's going to be what we're talking about all year again. This guy's a truck driver and the welder.
Yeah.
Quinn Amiot's a welder, so the truck driver versus the welder out there, the hard-working boys out there. As we look, Jess Pettis one more time up over that former finish line last year. And every time I see them jumping, it looks like it's getting harder and harder. Oh, then Piccolo clears like nothing. But I saw Ward come up super short the last time there. So the track, even though they're getting grooming it up there, they can only get it so hard, so long in these motos here. So it's getting harder and harder to clear some of the obstacles. And like I said in the pre-mix practice, there's some big jumps out here, some real big jumps for this type of this type of track out here. So going to be interesting to see if that plays a factor later on. There you go. Halfway board is out, Kyle. We are halfway through the third and final moto of the 250 class.
Yeah, so keep an eye on the battle. We're going to look for Marco Canella and Tanner Ward as they sit in that 3rd and 4th spot. That's going to be a battle for the podium. But just looking at the thing, it looked like Tanner Ward will jump up in that 2nd spot the way things sit right now, Goldie.
Oh, yeah, there we go. So as that overall points shifts, Tanner Ward might take that 2nd unless Welton can figure out a way to pick himself up. And you got to think, he's probably not going to move. Like, look at the distance right now between him.
Welton just made a pass on Surratt. Yeah. That's probably going to help him in the overall situation.
That is a big gap back up. So we'll wait till that revises as he crosses the finish line. So that's going to put him up into 5th spot right there. So 2.25 right now compared to a 4.33 for Tanner Ward, and we look back at it, and it does. So Marshall Welton goes back into that 2nd spot as far as the points stand in this career this time as that halfway board comes out. So 2nd spot, losing points. So like I said, that would be 75 points right there for Pettis. Yep. Leaving this here, likely with the red plate, barring anything here in this halfway to go. You do that math, Welton 2.2, that's 44, and a 5 is 16, 44, 16, that's 60. Pettis has a 15-point lead when we leave this race after 1 round.
Yep, and that's what happens. You put in some clean laps, get some good starts for Pettis, and really just, you know, he's just kind of just solid out there. He's not making these crazy mistakes like Welton is. And to be honest with you, for me, looking at each track that we're going to, Welton's best shots at winning are some of these sand tracks. He's good at Gopher Dunes, rides the sand well. Look for him to be strong at Sand Lee and Deschambault, but there's a lot of Walton rounds in there, and we know Pettis is good there. Yeah,
there's 5 full motos at Walton right there. And, of course, Deschambault and Sand Lee, not even remotely the same kind of sand as here either, right? So it does kind of play a little bit of a factor, but we've seen Jess Pettis as well. So, but leaving here, it's kind of funny, wearing the 15 on his bike, maybe leaving here with a 15-point gap in this championship with that red plate. You rarely see that kind of stuff, but that is what the COVID has done to our sport now. We've had to make these changes and these adjustments, and that kind of adjustments is really going to make things crazy when the points really start hitting the table.
Yeah, and I just seen Piccolo not able to jump that dirty jump there, the big double, and look over to the lapper getting in his way. Pretty upset, but man, Tanner Ward, Marco Canella, that battle is getting tighter there for 3rd place. Watch for those guys to heat this one up for that overall. And man, just super impressive with the 381 KTM rider, Fox back, Jacob Piccolo. man, I did not expect it out of the kid. He's not the best sand rider from his own right, but man, he's got some speed today.
That's the thing with this kid. He's like a storm. Like all of a sudden it's good, and then all of a sudden it's just out of nowhere. There's just greatness and craziness, and that's what we're gonna see out of Jacob Piccolo. And I'll tell you right now, that kid hauls the mail at Walton. He is so fast at that type of soil and that type of dirt. So if he can get out of here with some sort of confidence, like where he's sitting right now, I can see big things coming out of him. He podiums here. There's no doubt in my mind that it can be a consistent thing for the rest of the year in this class.
Yes, 100%.
At least for those next 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
At our Transcan or at Walton there. So.
And looking at just lap times here, Marshall Welton, the fastest on track right now, almost a half second over Pettis faster. So if he had been up front, you know, things would have looked great. But 2 crashes later, and he's put himself behind the 8 ball.
You know, you look at this thing, you just like you said, you can't do that in this series. It is a long series, but it's a short, tight one now to do it. And like we're saying, he's going to be maybe down 15 points after 1 race here. And as you know, that's a big gap. But again, it could turn around next weekend for him, and maybe Chess loses the 15 points. But losing 15 points in 1 race is really, really a big, you know, a tough pill to swallow when you're looking at it. And now he's not going to be happy about it after coming after the moto here. But we'll talk to him afterwards if he gets to an overall here. Right now, it's still just Pettis leading the way, Piccolo, and then Tanner Ward right now in 3rd spot. But that battle for the podium, Ward and Canella, and Canella's all over.
Yep, so there, Pettis getting over the dirty again. But to keep an eye on Welton, I have a feeling that he's got a little more in the tank than the Marco Canella, the Tanner Ward. And we're going to see if he can catch back up and just gain some valuable points there. And like you said, it's 15 points gained. But if Welton can finish further back, or finishes further back, that's even more points for Pettis. So that's just adding to his lead there. So it looks like Piccolo looking down at his bike. Not sure what's happened now. He's looking back.
Wow. Looking back. Oh, he's still on the gas right there. Let's hope nothing's wrong with, oh man, if the kid has a bike issue and it takes away from that thing, there goes Pettis right now in the lead. Past the finish line one more time. That puts it into 9 laps into this race. We are 9 laps into this race. And, man, Pettis is looking strong. Let's see where Piccolo is. He is laboring. He is laboring right now. Is it a bike issue? Is it body issue? He's looking back. He is not going nearly the same speed he was at the beginning of this race. Something is wrong with Jacob Piccolo out there, Kyle.
Yeah, he's just rolling around, sitting on the seat now, looking back. Tanner Ward gets by, and Marco Canella's right in tow. And let's see if Marshall Welton gained any time on those guys this lap. Obviously, he had the fastest lap of all the guys that last one. Let's see if he can repeat that as he goes by the stripe there.
Welton comes by with a reset in there, waiting for that time to reset. Oh, 2:12 on that one. It was a little bit slower than both Canella and Warren on that one, and then Piccolo at 2:17. So it looks like Welton would grab him right there, but you know what? That's 2 more points to Welton. Now we're down to a 13-point difference if this does happen to lead the way it is right now. So whittling away, chipping it away, and that's what the 3-moto format does. It just keeps giving you more opportunities to chip away at the guy that you're battling with in front of you.
Yeah, so just waiting for those guys to come back around. It looks like lot happening behind them. Quentin Amiot still sitting at 7th. Jeremy Mackay up to 8th. Great ride by that young Quebec rider, a rookie season. Hayden Halstead, and then Ryder McNabb up in that 10th spot, just passing Tyler Gibbs. So Ryder McNabb, another great ride out here. He came out to the Gopher Dunes facility early this year to get used to the sand and humidity, and it's done a great job with him so far with that 6th in that last moto.
Pettis on the far side up over the big old finish line jump. No problem right there for the Red Bull Factory Thor KTM number 15, former 250 champion, 2018 champion. Now wearing the 15, his permanent number out there, and looking to do the 1-1-1 here today, man, and he's looking to do it in dominant fashion. And looking, man, has he ever got a gap over 2nd spot now? Haven't even seen Ward go up over that big jump yet.
Ward just got over the dirty, and
there it is, yeah.
Right in tow. So that battle for 2nd really heating up now that Piccolo's dropped out of that.
How that works out, they'll revise on the overall point standings as they continue to go right now.
Piccolo riding around.
Piccolo is on track. He's off track. Welton now goes by him. So not sure if Piccolo's bike is going down or what. The bike looks like it's fine. It sounds like it's fine, but man, I don't know. Maybe it's a body, something wrong with the body going on here. But Canella now all over Ward here for that 2nd position on the track.
Yeah, and that's going to be for 3rd overall as the points go. So that pass is huge there. Canella's going to try to make that pass late here. We are about sorry, we're 20 minutes into this moto, Galdi, so 5 minutes plus 2 laps left. It's going to be a sprint to the finish line for these guys. And I'm very confused with Piccolo. I'm hoping it's not an injury or something that he's got wrong with his body. That's just a bike issue, because he's slowly fading back. He's still got a bit of time before Surratt catches him. So maybe he can trudge along and finish in that top 10 still with dealing with this problem.
Yeah, they still have an enormous gap on 6th position there. Ryan Surratt. He's got about 10 seconds on Surratt, so there's a lot of time for Surratt that he can make up. But man, it's very hard to tell whether it's bike or body for Jacob Piccolo right now. The young star out of BC having the moto of his life and might be getting robbed, and we're just not too sure what the reason it is. And funny now, you look at the way that it had Ward up, and it's funny, when Ward crossed the stripe, he was second. They put him in second overall, and then when Welton crossed, because he got Piccolo, he's back in second overall. The overall's been switching up, but the one that's staying steady, the number 15 right at the top of it all.
Yeah, you ain't going to beat a 1-1-1 all aces here today. And Tanner Ward, Marco Canella battling for that last spot on the podium and battling on the track right now for that second spot. And, man, I'm super impressed with Canella. I didn't think he would have it in him. I just, coming into the year, I didn't feel like he had the motivation he used to have, and man, he's proven me wrong, and it is great to see. I love the young number 46 rider for the MX 101 squad. Obviously, right before the season started, Luke Rensling was set to be that star role for the MX 101 Yamaha team, and then Canella jumped up in that top spot. Rockstar athlete now got that deal done right before the show started, and man, he is battling tooth and nail with his arch nemesis from years and years, Tanner Ward.
All right, Pettis scrolling by right there, looking good at the front of this pack. No problem at all for the 15. Ward and Canella are absolutely going at it. Both are kind of laboring. It is late here in moto number 3. It's got to be tired, and you got to know that if Canella makes this pass, then he gets 3rd overall. This is literally the battle for that 3rd overall position. It's really the only battle on the track for some sort of argumentative or significant spot out here. So it is truly going to be the best one to watch as we wind down with. They just hit lap 11 out there, so I got to think about 3 laps to go win this race here, Kyle. Yeah,
it's getting down. It's winding down. We're going to see that 2-board coming out very soon. And as soon as that, I want to say that the Ward-Canella battle is just going to heat up once that 2-board comes out. They're going to sprint to that finish line and try to lock that podium down for the first of the year. Man, it takes a lot more work these days with the 3-moto format to get that podium. Piccolo just coming by the stripe there, Galdi.
Surratt now gaining on him, so Surratt looks like he's going to be able to catch the kid. Not too sure what's going on with Jacob Piccolo. They're really struggling late in this moto. Want to give a shout out to the 164, the Fortuno kid. He's up to 10th spot now in this moto, Kyle. So the kid is showing he's a warrior at 14. Man, the sky is the limit for this young kid right now.
Yeah, man, starting that first moto, obviously have that first turn crash, and maybe that got the jitters out of him. He got through that moto and just kind of had to do his paces. Nothing to lose, really, when you're in that point. He stopped in for a pit stop. He talked to Noof. He made some adjustments. He put a new pipe on his bike, and then it came out to the second moto, and the 14-year-old just impressed the world with that 6th place there. Awesome ride by him, the Manitoba native, and man, he's learning a lot here, round 1. I'm looking forward to see him as the series goes on, and that GDR squad's got a good young rider.
All right, we're winding down here at the end of moto number 3 for the 250 class. And, man, there's a lot of riders out here looking like they are absolutely zonked out here. Man, I can't even imagine being a 450 pilot here, having to do another moto coming up here very shortly as we look at Jess Pettis coming into the final turn. And there it is right there. No, he actually got it just before the clock again. Just like the 450 moto, the referee had the 2-board, gets it out just before the clock. They beat the 25-minute mark, so now it is still 3 laps to go, Kyle.
Oh, it's a long 3 laps out here. And, man, these guys are just winding down. But, oh, Tanner Ward getting sideways just before this finish line section. And then Canella just smooth as ever through that. So look at these guys. They're still about a bike length apart. 3 laps to go. They're going to take this right down to the checkered flag, Galdi, for that last podium spot.
Okay, who do you got your money on right now with 3 laps to go? Who's the warrior? Who wants it that bad? Who's going to lay it on the line?
To be honest,
you think they must know. They know where they finished in the motos. They know in their head right now it's between those 2 for the 3rd overall.
Yeah.
It's in second. There's Welton now coming across. He is solidified into that second position with a 2.24 as it stands right now. And then, of course, Tanner Ward, 4.32. Marco Canella, 3.53. So crazy the way that it goes and all that stuff like that. So we're going to see who's going to have what it takes to bring home that final podium. let me ask you this, though. Who is it more important for to get it?
I would, man, that's a tough call. I would say that it would be more important for Canella to just start his year on the high note, being that top dog in that MX 101 group there, and putting himself on the podium. Obviously, Tanner Ward would love it on the new GDR Honda, and he's now the top guy in the 250 class. Obviously, he had Pettis as his teammate last year, and
Piccolo riding beside the track. There's nothing wrong with the bike. I think the kid is just zonked. It's got to be that right there, Kyle. He's been able to go and lead them with 3 more laps at the first time when we saw the issue. So the poor kid, another young kid out there, but he's just zonked. As we talk about a young kid, there goes Halstead going by right there. So they're both going to move ahead of Piccolo now. So that is going to put them into 8th position, I believe, for Halstead.
McNabb 9th.
And then McNabb up to 9th position. Halstead would sit on a 6th for the day. McNabb would sit on an 11th overall for the day right now as it stands. That's pretty good.
yeah, so Pettis out front, Tanner Ward, Canella battle. That's the one we're going to keep our eye on. Marshall Welton, after a couple big crashes, he's up in that 4th spot. Ryan Surratt doesn't look like he has the same jazz as he did in the first 2 motos, maybe getting a little tired. We're not sure if he's in race shape, and there you go. 2 board is up, Galdi. We have about 5 minutes left in this moto as these guys are just winding down of a long weekend here at Gopher Dunes, just slamming their bikes, bodies off a lot of these rollers, kickers on this track. It's gotten nasty.
All right, we got to look for that Ward Canella battle. It looks like it's about the exact same distance once again as they're rolling into us here. The only battle on the track with some significance right now. Get into lap traffic. Right here, Cheyenne Harmon getting lapped by Ward and Canella. Cheyenne Harmon is in 15th place, so Pettis doing a very similar thing to Wright, lapping up deep into the field.
Yeah, deep into the field, these guys are passing a lot. And that's this one track you really get into some lappers. You get layers of these guys. The guys that are battling for 10th, 11th, 12th are lapping guys that are in the 20s, and then the leaders are lapping all of them. So it just gets a little hairy out there. And then there's a lot of blue flags out on this track. I think there's 4 or 5 guys out there with blue flags trying to warn these lappers.
Yeah, no, we wanted to make sure this year that we had a lot of guys out there supporting because we knew lap traffic was going to be big, and especially at this track here with how crazy and how rough and how gnarly it is. The gap that we've been talking about between the best and the front of the pack and the back of the pack is it is enormous, and it's showing in a lot of these motos out here, especially in that 450 one where Dylan Wright lapped up to 6th that last moto. So we're going to see the 450s coming up, but we're just finishing off here. This 250 is about a lap and a half to go for the factory Red Bull Thor KTM rider of Jess Pettis. He's going to be stoked after this one, man. He hasn't raced since Montreal last year, had a big knee injury. And you always question yourself. I mean, I never got injured that much in my career. I don't think yourself as well, but you always question, can you get back to where you were? Can you do it? Man, it's awesome to see Jess Pettis too. He's one of those real good kids out of Prince George, BC. We're at Blackwater MX out there, and we're just waiting for him to come back into frame. There he is right now, over that big jump, and he's looking to bring home a lap and a half, a lap and 3 turns to go.
Yeah, I'm really confused with the Piccolo. He just did the big double and the dirty right in front of Pettis there, and then he's just off the side of the track again. I'm not sure what's going on with him. I'm hoping he's all right physically, or if he's just overheating. He just needed a couple laps to cool down. But who knows? We'll have to find out later what happened to the 381 of Piccolo. Tanner Ward still in that 2nd spot, just stuffed the berm there. Canelo going up the inside there and gained a little ground through that roller section.
White flag is waving. White flag is waving for Jess Pettis. One more lap to glory here to make it happen for a 1-1 day to open up the 2020 Rockstar Energy Triple Crown Series. Jacob Piccolo's still in 10th spot. He's still in 10th position right now.
That is insane. That's how big of a lead he got. Just getting a good start. Still in 10th spot. Obviously, these guys are lapping well into the top 10. And Ward went down, looks like. Canella just come by the stripe there. Ward has gone down.
Oh, so Ward's right there in that final turn. So Ward having an accident right on the very last lap. Man, that is not going to make that youngster happy. And that right there is going to give Canella the final podium spot, the podium for overall.
And we've seen that a couple times in the past, Goldie, where Ward would have the podium in position and then just give it up with a small tip over a stall or something like that, and he does it again with the last lap. Gives Canella a gift who is eating his roost all moto long. He's getting that gift there with 1 lap to go. Canella's going to be happy with that. Unfortunately, he didn't pass him the straight up way, but he'll take anything he can get on this Gopher Dunes course.
So right now, with a half a lap to go, the overall stands, Jess Pettis, Marshall Welton, Marco Canella, Tanner Ward, and Ryan Surratt would be your top 5 overall for the day here for round number 1 of the MX Tour. 3 moto format shining with us right now. The 111, okay, whatever, we'll leave that one around. 224-352-433. That's exactly what we wanted to see out of this, getting everybody in a whole bunch of different spots and letting the computer sort it out.
Yeah, maybe we can get Pettis to take one moto off to get this thing shook up a little bit. But
I'm sure he'd be gung-ho to do that.
Yeah.
Gung-ho to do that.
Take one moto off, Pettis. There you go. But the 111, very good performance. A great performance out of Pettis here, streaking this moto. We seen it a couple of years ago where he went 1-1 on the day on his MX 101 Yamaha. Today on the Red Bull KTM, he's got a similar performance. 1-1 on the Sunday, but also adding that win on Saturday, and he's going to make that a 3-peat. Good for him. And Pettis only 2 corners to go. Galdi, what a performance.
Absolute dominating performance here for the Red Bull Factory KTM floor racing rider Jess Pettis, 2018 champion. Leaves the MX 101 team, goes to Factory KTM, goes down, does Supercross, gets hurt, comes like last year, injured, comes in, injured, comes back. Doesn't get that MX Tour title that he had, but he's going to win here today. 3 victories in a row, 1-1-1 for Jess Pettis, and he is pumped, fist in the air. We got no spectators to see it, but doesn't matter. He is stoked right there, and there's Piccolo still crossing the line, and it looks like about 10th position still in this thing. So a very weird scenario there for Piccolo, looking for that second place of Canella right there in 46. Marco Canella going to take second spot in that moto. That's going to give him 3rd overall. We're just waiting for Ward to come across for 3rd in this moto, which will give him 4th overall. And then Welton, whoa.
Oh, Ward
Ward is all over the bike right now. Wow, he is barely getting it through the final turn into this thing. His body is shut down. He is right out of energy. Oh my God, he's going to get across. He's going to finish 3rd in that moto. And he is going to collapse off the track. Tanner Ward is out of breath there, Kyle. Wow, that was almost scary to watch as he came across the finish line. It is hot out there right now. I got to make my way out on the podium. Kyle, what a moto. Congrats, Jess Pettis.
Yeah, we're going to jump to a quick commercial. We'll be right back with those podium speeches.
Welcome back, everybody, live here on the Two Wheel TV app, Rev TV, and of course the Fox Sports Racing Canada channel. Man, what an amazing day here. We start off with these crazy 3 moto formats. We had to make so many changes with the COVID stuff. 1-1-1 for this guy, a total dominating fashion, the 2018 champion on that Factory Red Bull KTM Thor Racing ride. Jess Pettis, man, I tell you what, you can't start a series any better than that. It's always questionable when you come to something like this and how crazy hot it is and how crazy rough. You didn't make it look that hard out there at all. I feel like anybody could have done what you just did today.
Yeah, no, that was a dream day for sure. Great way to start the series. I'm pretty pumped. It's been a lot of downs, and you know, when you work hard and come back, this is the feeling I look for. And yeah, it's been a long recovery, ACL recovery all winter, and man, it's one thing with all the hype at round 1, but then you come to Gopher Dunes, gnarliest, roughest, hottest track of the year, and feel like I made a bit of a statement. But these boys are all on it, and it's going to be a great season battling with the boys. And I had fun out there. It was hard, but huge shout out to my team, Factory Red Bull KTM, Thor Racing Team, Parts Canada, FMF, Oakley, Marin Bikes, my mechanic Matt, he works so hard, JSR, Mark, the truck driver, my parents back home, man, Steve Beatty, suspension's working great out there, and everyone else I forgot, there's a big list, and all my friends and family back home, thank you.
There you go, 1-1-1 on the day. Jess Pettis, a great ride. We'll bring in that second spot out here, weighing 224 on the motos. The Monster Energy Alpine Star Thor Kawasaki rider of Marshall Welton coming in right there. Marshall, tough middle moto, tough end moto there. Those crashes is what bit you today, man. Speed didn't look like a problem, but to win these races, you got to stay up on that dirt bike, and I feel like that's what bit you today.
Yeah, absolutely stellar job to the track crew here at GDR. I mean, I can't say enough good things. I wish every race was this difficult. As far as the racing goes today, I threw it away on my own. I got ahead of Jess, made some money moves, and I saw that clear track, and I just took that one deep breath, and that's all it took, and I tucked the front end out, and then I got back going and thought I was going to be able to make another charge at him. Same thing, tuck the front, and gonna try to regroup for next week. I'm really frustrated with my performance here. Got to really give it up to my team though. Monster Energy, Pro Circuit, Pillars, Kawasaki. I mean, it's, you know, by far the best team environment I've been around, and you know, make me feel like family.
Awesome job over there, Marshall Welton. Very humbled out there, getting that second overall. Okay, we'll move along. Oh, Marshall, I'll just move you off here. We'll bring in 3rd overall today. A great way to start the series, the MX 101 ride of Marco Canella. Marco, you go 3-5-2. Battling with your sort of mate for so many years here, to where we're talking about it in the studio. We're just like, these guys have been racing each other since they were kids. It's got to feel good. You come in here, everything's always uncertain round 1. You're on certain things talking about this year. We talked a lot this winter, man. You made it happen, dude. You're
You're in a great spot now at the start of the series, which is always great for any racer.
Yeah, for sure. This is the best I've ever came into the series. It's nice to kind of be in the points. I know it's only round one, but with 3 motos, got to make every weekend count. And I felt great out there all day. And yesterday was awesome to finally get on the podium after a long year without any podiums. So I knew with my teammate Luke being out, it was kind of time for me to step up and you know, try and be the main guy, be a podium guy, and represent the team the best I could. And I felt good out there. Tanner was riding really good. I had an awesome start, just kind of fumbled in the first few turns and pulled the tail off, went back to like 8th or 9th, and then tried my hardest to work my way back up. And yeah, Jess killed it today. I mean, 1-1-1, that was obviously impressive. So I got a little bit of work to try and catch up to him. But yeah, last lap pass, well, Tanner ended up going down, and second in the last moto. The track was gnarly, so I'm super pumped on that, and fitness felt great. So I just want to say thanks to the whole MX 101 team, Kevin, Kale, these guys have been all in this year, and I just can't thank them enough. 100% FXR, my parents, my girlfriend, everyone supporting me. Just really appreciate you guys so much. Rockstar, thank you guys.
Great job out there from our. There you have it. 250 class is done. The top 3 riders really put it out there. A little update on Tanner Ward. He comes off that track in that moto right there and basically faints because of the heat and the struggle with it. Crazy times right now for those guys. We're going to make sure we got an update on him. He'll finish 4th overall in the day. Ryan Surratt 5th. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here with that 450 class. I'm going to go with Phil. I'm going to go with Phil for the whole shot here.
I'm going to say T-Dags again, obviously a great starter, and back on that 450 power. He's a little guy. He can get to that power to the ground. I'm going to feel it, and you know what? I want to say this is going to be a rebound moto for Medaglia. I think that he had some suspension bike issues that he wasn't comfortable with in that second one. Didn't look like himself. This next one, I really feel like it's going to be a rebound. You could see him up, pushing that podium position, maybe get 2nd or 3rd. I don't know if he's got what it takes to get the win this weekend, but definitely up in the podium.
Starting to get those bikes, those revs are getting up down there. Paul Kingsley getting ready to get that 30 board out. The gate is supposed to drop right at, we got here 450 moto 315, so we got about 3 minutes till we drop the gate, I believe, on this final moto, because everything is right on time as far as that schedule goes. And right now the boys are running a little early. Kanger and Daryl killing it out there.
Get a snack, get a little banana, maybe a little water, get hydrated, get some potassium. Let's go.
All right, the final moto of a 3-moto format here at Gopher Dunes. And it has been a trying day already, man, the superheat. And when I saw, I've never really seen something like that of Tanner Ward. And I literally watched it. We both kind of watched right from here. And I'm like, oh, my God, something is not good. He was just, his body just shut down. It was like those videos I've seen of, like, runners getting to the final stage of, like, a marathon or something like that. It's just nothing left, absolutely nothing left.
Yeah, he got the wobbles there. And it was, for a second, I thought it was just a sand, and he was kind of looking back, but he was out of it. And, man, he just barely got over the finish line tabletop and got off the track, got doused with water, got cooled down, and I'm sure he's in recovery right now, maybe an ice bath or something like that.
There's the revs are up right now. The gate is down here for the final moto. The 450 class is off. Who's going to grab the RoyalDistributing.com whole shot here? The boys are around that top of the turn. Again, now we get a little chance. We kind of lose them just for a second or two here. We're going to wait till our reps get back to us to give us the RoyalDistributing.com call. Who got the whole shot out there? Could it be the 54? Could it be the number 5? Could it be someone new? Getting here 3 moto classes. See who's going to grab it right now. We're just going to wait till they get in that frame. It is going to be a barn burner. 30
Looks like
minutes
Kawasaki
plus
out front.
2.
Is it Tyler Medaglia out front here as they come back down that anthill? We're looking at them blasting the berms already. It's going to be interesting to see where Dylan Wright ended up coming out the chute. And over the step up. No, sorry, it's Sam Gaynor.
Sam Gaynor, the number 28, Rockstar OTSF it is too. The whole shot goes to Sam Gaynor.
Nicoletti
RoyalDistributing.com, and look at that, the 9 and the 54 are right there. And the 9 already goes at the 54. No, Phil Nicoletti shuts the door just like that. Does not allow the number 9 to get in. You got to think that Phil is going to put it all on the line. He is hungry. He wants that moto win. It wouldn't get in the overall if Dylan still finished second, but he wants to shut down the number 9. Look at this. He's already trying to make the pass on him. Dylan Wright is not going to be turned away today.
Yeah, Dylan Wright around the outside. Nicoletti doing that favorable inside, and Dylan Wright makes the pass. And now he's got Sam Gaynor right in his wheelhouse. He's going to try to make that pass heading towards the back section. Some of the guys to look out for.
T-Dag's not off to a great start. He's in 6th position there on this first lap, so he's going to have a little bit of work to do. But again, the top 8 guys in the moto are in the top 8 at the top of the front of the place right now. we're just looking. I didn't see Liam O'Farrell go by. Did Liam O'Farrell click? Oh, yeah, he did. He was in 8th position there. So Liam O'Farrell didn't go by.
Those guys, the cream always rises, Galdi, and there you go. These guys are out front again. And T-Dags, I was hoping for a whole shot to see him actually push the envelope a little bit this last moto and get back up into that podium position, but he's got his work cut out for him as the 2 Rockstar OTSF Yamaha athletes get out front early.
All right, the boys are clicking by. So Sam Gaynor gets that moto3.com whole shot here in the final and 3rd moto. Wright already taking the lead there. We've got news from the back of the track that Wright has taken the lead from Gaynor and Nicoletti right there. So not good for the rest of the competition here. The number 9 out front looking to do exactly what Pettis just did. And you got to think that he's going to do it. In that interview I asked him, I said, you got the lead. And he just started, he's like, I put down 5 hard laps. He's going to do that again right now and do the same thing.
Yeah, just gap them and then let the rest of the laps just kind of conserve and keep the gap control. And he's been good at that. We've seen him win a lot last year in the same fashion. He would get out front, sprint early on that 250, and yeah, he's doing the same here on the 450, just keeping that same scenario, just different riders.
All right, we're just waiting for the comeback. There they are right there. So the number 9 up into the lead. Nicoletti into that 2nd position. Gaynor still in that 3rd spot. So Gaynor having a hell of a ride right now, but Gerke's in his rear wheel. You got to think that Gaynor's just gaining confidence. He's just sitting there watching right now and soaking it all up there, Kyle.
Yeah, Gaynor just filling Gerke full of roots there, coming out of that big sand bowl. And yeah, let's see if Nicoletti's got anything for Wright this time. It's already looking like he's got a couple bike lengths on him, but Dylan Wright's bike getting a little sideways there. So we're going to see as they come around the finish line area one more time and get some lap times on these guys, Galdi.
All right, they cross the stripe right there. Obviously, Dylan Wright the fastest. Nicoletti 2:03, almost 2 seconds back as far as the lap time goes on that right there. So he has got, Dylan Wright is already laying down the groundwork here for a moto of destruction on the competition.
Yeah, so T-Dag's got his work cut out for him. He's behind Sean Moffenbauer, Matt Gerke, and Gaynor all in front of him. So Medaglia going to have to fight from behind here again. And yeah, Dylan Wright just laying the beats down, getting those early laps. Maybe Nicoletti learned from that, where he's got to sprint a little bit quicker on those first 5 laps and really pressure the young kid.
All right, so the rest of the boys are clicking by right now. Good battles happening all over the pack here early on in moto number 3 of the 450 class. This is the Rockstar Energy Triple Crown Series round at number 1 coming at you from Gopher Dunes. 3 moto format, COVID craziness. No spectators. Podiums are weird. Everybody's just on the edge here, but we're going racing, and it's the final one of the weekend here at Gopher News. Man, it is hot right now. It is about 40 degrees outside. Luckily, the podium's kind of in a shaded area there because the boys have been coming off of those 250s and 450 motos today. Just haggard, just beat right down, and I can't imagine it's going to be any different in this one.
No, it's definitely a scorcher out there, and you've seen that with Tanner Ward coming off, just zonked. And these guys, 5 minutes longer in these motos at 30+2. It's going to be a scorcher out there. So watch for these guys to really have to try to conserve around the 15-minute mark. Obviously, early on, they'll be guns a-blazing. It looks like Wright, same scenario, kind of just inching away from Nicoletti here early on, trying to defeat him and sap some confidence from him. Gerke up into that 3rd spot. He's looking a little bit stronger, but already lost a bit of time to the leaders. And then Medaglia made some moves on the Rockstar boys. He's up into 4th.
All right, so T-Dag's maybe making that change. Like you said, he made a little different change, and hopefully he can get himself and keep it a little bit closer. I got to think Phil needs right now, he needs to have 2 or 3 good laps right now to keep it in Dylan's head right now to prove that the number 9 cannot just run away with this thing today right here. Gerke as well sitting now in that 3rd position, so Gerke, Gaynor now kind of slipping back there, but a great job for Sam on those first couple laps, really hanging in with the boys and just getting that experience. He's getting that experience that he needs right now to keep inching forward and getting better every lap and every moto.
Yeah, exactly. Just putting himself in the right position to be with those guys and see how they ride. Keelan Meston there sitting in that 7th spot, and Liam O'Farrell coming by there. Those guys are going to duke it out, much like the Hayden Halstead, Quinn Amiot in that 250 class. It's Liam O'Farrell and Keelan Meston in the 450 class.
Back to the back edge of the track they go right now. It is the number 9 Honda Canada GDR Fox rider of Dylan Wright in the lead, looking to go 1-1-1 on the day here for his home team on the home track. Sitting in that 2nd spot, Phil Nicoletti, Rockstar Energy OTSFF Yamaha ride, and he looked to be going 3-2-2 on the day. Behind that's the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki Pillars of number 2, Matt Gerke right now sitting on a 4.33 day for third overall. So that would be your podium. 1, 2, 3 on the track would be 1, 2, 3 overall right now, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on the number 5. See if made 2 passes that lap on both Gaynor and Moffenbauer. Let's see if he's got some in the tank to catch up to his teammate there, Matt Gerke. We've seen those guys battle out in the first moto. Let's see if he can battle out this moto. But right now, Nicoletti and Wright out front. Wright taking a 3-second lead in a couple laps here as he gets over the dirty again. And Nicoletti, about the same gap there. Galdi just...
It was a 3.1 last time around, so we'll see when they get the straight to see if it is any different. But if Phil can keep it close for a while, I think that could be the trigger that maybe he's like, oh, Dylan want to push a little more or go a little harder, whatever it is. And then look at that. T-Dags has found something in this motor here, Kyle. He's closing it up on Gerke.
Yeah, he found a couple lines. You can see up in this front section here by the finish line. He's already making up some time on his teammate and maybe setting one of the faster laps this time around. We'll get that caught up once scoring timing gets caught up. And T-Dags is hungry for a podium.
That would not change, I believe, the overall as far as it would sit, but we would have to take a look at that one on that. Actually, no, that would give Tyler third overall if he's able to get Matt in this moto. So keep an eye on that one. That gap was 2.1 before. It is now 2.5, or sorry, 2.9. So nearly a second. Dylan was able to stretch out on Phil that time.
Yeah. So Phil, actually, you know, Phil actually was a little quicker that last lap there. Galdi is a 2.7, and Dylan was 2.01, so she gained a little bit of time. But behind them, Matt and Tyler tight as well, 2.9 between them. So the gap is about the same. There's 2 separate battles out there for the lead. I'm hoping we can keep this as long as we can and get these guys dicing up, making some passes. So it's not such a yawn fest here. I know Dylan Wright wants a yawn fest. He wants to pull away and get that gap like he did in the last 2 motos.
All right. Time and scoring getting up. So Dylan Wright, Phil Nicoletti, Matt Gerke, Tyler Medalla, Sean Moffenbauer, top 5. Sam Gaynor, Keelan Meston, Liam O'Farrell, Josh Cartwright, and Bobby Piazza into the top 10. Parker Eels, Brian Cormer, Yannick Boucher, Max Philippek, and Cole Wilson in the top 15 right now as they move past and into that 4th lap. Actually, sorry, Mitch Reppel just moved himself into the top 15, so good for that local kid out of there. I worked with Mitch all winter long, so awesome to see that young kid out there getting some points and battling through after not even being able to start his first moto.
Yep.
The starter broken his bike, so
yeah,
awesome to see.
Nicoletti, another good lap here coming around. He looks like he's finding some lines, getting over the bumps a little cleaner, carrying momentum around these big sand berms and just able to get in and out quicker than the last moto. But, yeah, he's not too far behind Dylan Wright. Like you said, Dylan Wright's a 5-lap sprint. So if he can hang in there, get into these lappers a little cleaner, I think we could have a battle on our hands to get at least a moto win for the Yamaha boys.
10 years difference in their age right now. So, you know, the old dog wants to beat on the young kid, right? You never like getting beat by the young kid right there. And, but again, Phil, a little, like, 0.2 of a second slower on that lap, actually, than Dylan Wright. So they're basically matching each other right now, lap to lap as it goes. But what I like, I'm looking at right now, Tyler Medalla once again faster than Gerke on that lap. So maybe Tyler's found that mojo, and then again, that position, he makes that pass, that gives him third overall in the day, which would be a great way to start the series. And Canella just expressed that. He's like, I've never done this good at the start of a series. I'm feeling all good, and you get the toughest one out of the way, so you know the confidence is going to be high for that kid coming into Walton, where he's cut his teeth for years at the Transcam.
Yeah, Marco Canella, many championships there in the amateur ranks. Obviously got some good laps in his first podium as an outdoor there, so he's going to be confident going in the next 2 weeks. But yeah, like I said, Nicoletti just losing a smidge of time there. Those guys are running relatively the same time. The Cowie boys a little bit slower, about 3 seconds off the pace there. But those two are about the same pace with the 204, 205 range. And yeah, the leaders just around that 201, 202 pace early on. And once they hit the lappers will come on strong and things will get dicey, and hopefully we can get some battling going on at the front of the pack here, Galdi.
Yeah, no, we want to get those battles there. Look at this. They're already kind of getting into lap traffic coming into the big jump here. In another few seconds, they're going to start climbing right in to the tail end of that top 20. And I'd say that it looks like Dylan has stretched it out just a little bit more on this lap on Phil. Maybe about the same right here. We'll see when they cross that stripe. But Dylan Wright, it just seems like, man, the track gets rougher. He just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger out there.
Yeah, I see Phil getting through those rollers. He's got like a step on, step off supercross style through some of those. So he's definitely looking good through that roller section up towards the finish line area, Galdi. Definitely a better start for Phil. It looked like he lost a lot more time in that second moto than he did in this third moto.
All right, so Dylan Wright past the stripe now has got a 3.1 second gap, and it is now, wait for 4.5. 4.5 now between those leaders. And there's Matt Gerke right there. Look at this. Tyler Medalia's all over him, Kyle. Tyler Medalia's right on him.
Tabletop. So the battle is heating up for that third spot and that final podium spot. We've seen it in the first one with Canella and Ward. We are seeing it now with the teammates Gerke and Medaglia. So let's keep an eye on that as we go forward and see how that shakes down. Obviously, you want to go back to the pits, kind of puff your chest and be the top Cowie guy out of the two of them.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, both of them are getting good points here in this series. Sam Gaynor clicking by us one more time, sitting in at that 6th position. Sam would sit 6th overall on the day if it were to finish as is right now. So a great job out there by that youngster, and looking good. And that's Keelan Meston coming across, and now Liam O'Farrell. So the working man out there, Liam O'Farrell, doing a great job keeping up the support there for everybody that's got to go to work tomorrow. He'll probably get up at 5 o'clock tomorrow and have to go to the office.
Yeah. Put in some HVAC system.
I don't think I've ever asked him. I don't really know what he does.
Heating and cooling, HVAC.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Nice.
Nice,
Some systems there. He'll
maybe I'll just go sit in an air conditioner tomorrow.
You'll have to after these motos.
All right, so Dylan Wright still leading the way over Phil Nicoletti. Last lap, Dylan Wright was just over a second faster than Phil. So this lap, we're going to see if Phil maybe can chip away a little bit more on the number 9 Honda Canada GDR Fox. And there he is up over that big, huge gap one more time. Phil doing the same thing, able to get up over there. Man, I'll tell you what, that jump is rough. I'm watching their bikes as they're heading into it there, and they are banging a lot of holes and everything just to get up over that obstacle.
Yeah, it looked like Dylan Wright's leg came right off on that first kicker there as he seat bounced out of that roller. That roller, for some reason, those things get absolutely hammered out the way these guys accelerate across them. And Dylan Wright still feeling the pressure from Nicoletti, but definitely has a little bit more of a cushion.
Nicoletti definitely keeping it a lot closer this moto for sure. He's found something a little bit different, maybe made a couple changes. Whatever it is, he's definitely keeping a lot closer. Last lap, it was a 4.5 gap. Now it's a 4.6. We lost a little bit of time, but not even near what he lost that lap before.
Yeah, so, you know, the second moto, he got gapped about a good 16 seconds this time around. Look at that. Second and third, for the battle for third with Medaglia and Gerke just heating up, and Medaglia is sitting in that roost for another lap. He's going to try to make a pass on his teammate.
Man, I'm telling you right now, these guys 7 laps into this race, they've already lapped up into top 15 racers in this. These guys are animals at the front of this pack. And it's not like the guys at the back are going slow, but man, they're animals at the front here. These guys are beasts in the heat and the toughness of this day. And I tell you, it is one of those days that are just gnarly right now. And the boys that are lasting up front, very much respect you guys out there as we get into that 7th lap of moto number 3 here. Moto number 3 is
just to put some justice on these lap times these guys are doing. They're around like a 2:04 lap times. Back when they're here, Dylan Wright was for the Ontario Provincial. Those lap times were in the 150s, mid 150s. Man, that track is rough out there right now.
Yeah, 10 seconds slower basically than that race out here for sure. The lines may be a little bit different, but right here today, it is a definite battle on a track that is as gnarly as any track has ever been for motocross out here. So we're just waiting for our group here in the trailer TV. We count Ryan Galdi, Kyle Thompson to get a look at Dylan Wright, the number 9. There he is right now. Going to be able to get up over that big dirty one more time. Waiting to see if Phil Nicoletti, I feel like Phil might have chipped away. He's just a little bit closer, I feel, on this lap. So we'll see what it says when timing and scoring happens out there. And we can check to see if Phil has actually chipped away. And like I said, it's impressive to see what he's doing. He's not letting him get away this moto, which there's no way Dylan's not seen it too, right? They can see each other coming around on those 90-degree turns or 180 turns.
180 turns, lots
and
of them.
And where you can kind of look back just that little bit. So, all right, Dylan Wright goes by 4.6 last lap. This lap here, just waiting for that computer to readjust and give us an updated on that time.
Yeah, so 2:03 lap time for Dylan Wright.
Wow, 6.1. That was farther. Okay, my bad. I thought it looked closer. My glasses aren't working.
Yeah, that's why we have live scoring and time in Galdi for those reasons. We keep track of that, but these guys battling it out still. Matt Gerke just gaining a bit of time there on Tyler Medaglia, and he's still launching this table in front of us here, Galdi. Crazy.
All right, so Dylan Wright, Nicoletti, Gerke, Tyler Medalli. We're waiting for Moffenbauer right now in that 5th position across, and there he is right there. Sean Moffenbauer doing a great job. 6.55 would be his 3 motos if he finishes as is here today. The next rider, there's Sam Gaynor, Meston, O'Farrell, Cartwright, Piazza, Eels, Cormier, Boucher, and Mitch Rempel into that 14th spot. Max Filipek in 15th. But back again to that front of the pack. Dylan Wright is just in such form. It looks like mid-season form, or like, you know, this veteran savvy type thing. And we're at the first 3 motors of the year, man, and he is just putting it to the boys that anybody else would have picked. Anybody else. Obviously, Dylan was I had him actually picked for 1 moto this weekend, but I did not expect what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, typically this would have been the, you know, the closing stages of the series, you know, July 25th, 26th weekend. But yeah, being round 1, it's crazy. Usually these guys get a few weekends where it's a little cooler out. You know, they deal with the West Coast and it's a little cooler, and then they get warmed up to the longer motos. They're right thrown in the oven like we talked about earlier. It's hot out here.
We have lost Keelan Meston, Kyle. We have lost Keelan Meston. He has not come by the stripe. He has not clicked by on here, so we have lost Keelan Meston. He was sitting in that 7th position. Liam O'Farrell, Josh Cartwright have gone by. We have not seen Keelan Meston, and Dylan Wright is about to come by one more time. There's Bobby Piazza. That's going to be 9th position now. And Dylan Wright, the next bike on the track, he's already lapped up inside the top 10. And 10th place is going to be Brian Cormer. I can't even handle this right now. These guys are insane. The speed they're carrying, and the halfway board is out. Halfway board is out.
Yeah, so we got 15 plus 2 laps, Galdi left, and this still, that's a lot of time to be out on this track, dealing with that roughness and that heat that's soaking down on them. So looks like Gerke's still holding down that 3rd position. He's going to, and it looks like T-Dag's rolling around. I'm not sure if it's a bike issue. He is rolling around. He's just coming around to the last 2 corners here. And I'm not sure if he went down or had a bike issue. There's Keelan Meston going by the stripe there.
Yeah, Meston's having a problem right there. And Phil chipped that away that last lap there. So Phil had a great lap. So T-Dag, oh yeah, T-Dags has got some serious issues. He is not good. Moffenbauer's up by him now. Something wrong with the number 5, the Monster Energy Kawasaki out there. Something wrong with the 5. So you can get a look at it here.
Looks like his bike's bent up. Maybe he had a little crash out there. So he is out of the picture. He's sitting in 5th right now. Hopefully he can soldier on and finish that position. But seeing the halfway, I'm sure that's not very motivating for the number 5 to go and trudge through another 15 plus a lap, being all bent up and sore.
All right, so now with T-Dags having that issue, that could put Gaynor up in a position if he keeps soldiering away out there. Sam Gaynor having a banner day, but that now solidifies Matt Gerke as the 3rd and final podium overall here today for the 3-moto format. And man, we're getting some craziness a little bit in this moto here. What's going on out there, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but man, late in the day, Gopher Dunes, it just brings out survival mode. That's all I can say is these guys are out here. Besides Dylan Wright and Phil Nicoletti, who are still pushing the pace, the rest of the field is on survival mode. And it looks like Nicoletti is starting to pace Dylan Wright better and better as we go along here. Galdi, does he have something in the tank for the last half of this race?
Well, you know what? I definitely know he's got something in the tank right there. It's just whether or not it's something left in that tank. Does Dylan Wright have enough left to hang on to it here? We've seen him. He's so good in these first 2 motos. Lap traffic, a little bit of an issue right now. Dario Zecca right there now gets out of the way. The blue flag is waving for the 57. Coming across the stripe last lap, it was 5.4 seconds. This time it is going to be 4.0. Chipped a second and a half that lap. So Phil Train is coming right now.
So Phil's done 2 2:03s in the last 2 laps, where Dylan's only done a 2:05. So he's really chipping away at this lead. And you're going to start sensing that. These guys know where each other are at certain points of the track. He's going to start feeling that, and Dylan Wright's going to know that pressure's coming. Matt Gerke coming by the stripe there. He's a kind of a no man's land in a safe little bubble there. He's going to collect the podium. His first weekend back, obviously almost having a career-ending injury in Germany last year, the Supercross. He's back racing after that broken back. And good to see him fighting for a podium here. I think he'll get stronger as the series goes on.
Yeah, Matt hasn't raced for a long time right now, so it's great to see him back after that injury we're talking about. He's way off the pace of the leaders, but that doesn't matter. He's still sitting in that great spot in 3rd. We're watching here Tyler Medalli rolling around in front of us right now. He's still in, I believe, a 5th position. I don't know if he's got Sam Gaynor has gotten by him yet. I haven't seen Sam Gaynor go by. No, Sam Gaynor has not made that pass yet, so he's still battling out there. And Meston has had a crash. Mitch Rempel has now moved past Meston. Meston all the way back to 13th spot. So that's going to put Mitch Rempel up in the 13th, so stroke for my boy out there. That kid trained all winter long. I mean, he's a good kid, good, hard-working family out there sitting in that 13th spot. So great job for Mitch Rempel out there. But as soon as they're talking about 13th, look back, we're going to be seeing Dylan Wright coming around here in about that or any time right now.
Yeah, so that was Sam Gaynor that just lapped Mitch Rempel into the top 13. So even Gaynor back in 6th is getting up there tighter to the front. And it looks about similar gap here, Galdi, as they come by those big, massive Rockstar Energy rollers. And yeah, Phil may not have had that clean as the lap as he did the last 2. So we're going to see as they come by the stripe, see what kind of lap times they're pumping out. Maybe Dylan just picked it back up. Notice Phil was closing in a little bit.
Yeah, they're lapping Cartwright right now, who's sitting in 8th position. Josh Cartwright having a solid moto, but getting lapped here by the top dogs. I think Dylan has just stressed it out. He runs wait for our time and scoring to catch up right now, and Dylan Wright drops a lap time of a 2:06. Phil Nicoletti 2:07, so Phil a little bit slower that lap, like you said, Kyle. The gap opened up just a little bit more on that one right there, but and now we're at lap 11. We did 14, I think, last moto there, so maybe 3-4 laps to go here in this final Moto3. I feel like this one's gone a little bit faster, to be honest with you. It's weird how it works out that way.
Yeah, these guys, I'm sure it isn't gone as fast. They're just getting the mechanics boards each lap, talking about you know, what the gaps are, what the time is left in the moto. Not much to tell these guys. Just survive and get through round 1 and get onto a Walton Transcan week. And lots of races there. We're going to have 5 motos at the Transcan. And it's going to be a fun week to have, as well as the amateurs in between. That you know, lots of racing for any race fan. And if you're an amateur racer, get out to the Walton Transcan. Get your registration in today and get in there, because it's going to be a week of moto.
Want to give a shout out to that number 76 rider, Brian Cormer, now sitting in 11th position. This would give him a 13th overall on the day, going 18, 11, 11. So having a break 8 ride for Brian Cormer there. Great congrats to him. He's got a funky little haircut if you see him in the pits there. He's got his shaved on the side like he's made his own mullet. It's pretty funny. Yeah, it looks like the kid just has a smile on his face, got a great attitude all the time there. So good, a shout out to him as we get ready to see the number 9 and the number 54 getting ready to come into the old finish line area one more time, and we're going to see if that gap has come down a little bit. There's the number 9 right now, up over that jump one more time, waiting to see the 54, and I don't see him yet, so about the same, maybe a little bit more. Maybe Dylan even turned it up again, Cal.
Yeah, I think Dylan picked it up there. He's seen Phil gain a bit of ground on him for 2 laps in a row. He found another gear, maybe found a line out there that Phil was using, and Dylan Wright able to just pull that gap out, just that smidge that he needs, and just that more gap he has, the more comfortable he is getting these closing stages. He's got not too many laps to go for this perfect sweep. We've seen Jess Pettis get it with the KTM squad, and now the Honda GDR rider of Dylan Wright. He's going to try to lock that 111 down. Phil Nicoletti going to try everything he can, Galdi, to stop that from happening.
That 12 lap for him, a 2:04 and a 2:06 for Phil Nicoletti right there. So they both dropped their times from the previous lap, but again, Phil nearly 2 seconds slower than Ab. Actually, it's a little over a second 1.2, I guess, right there. So Phil's still pushing hard right now. Late in this moto, he's probably got about 3 laps to go, maybe 4 in this race. And I tell you what, man, if there's anybody that's got something left to take, you know Phil does. I just don't know if it's today's the day. It looks like Dylan Wright has just got everything that's needed to bring home 3 wins.
Yeah, so Dylan Wright just on fire today on that new GDR Honda 450 that he just jumped on this year, rookie season in that 450 class. Matt Gerke by the stripe, just a solid 3rd place. He's going to hold on to that, cruise to that finish line. Obviously had early heat from his teammate, but Tyler Medaglia having issues in the back and able to drop back to
41 seconds. Matt is behind. 41 seconds. Matt is behind Phil Nicoletti. So the top 2 guys are going they are unbelievably strong here, and it's the tracks like this, day like this that we see. You know, they're the ones that have put in the work, and not that everybody else isn't, but maybe the work that they're doing is where it shines is when it's on days like this, because 41 seconds ahead of Matt Gerke on the sand track is something that isn't said very often.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, Galdi, this track is it's never been really this rough, because you had all day yesterday motos, the pros, as well as the amateurs, and now all day early on we had the FXR, the WMX classes that went off, and then into the Pro 4 motos. This is the last moto of the weekend, and the track is at its absolute worst. Phil Nicoletti back over the dirty, losing a little bit more time to Dylan Wright. Dylan's finding that extra gear he needs. A mid-moto sprint for Dylan Wright. He's going to be searching for that 2-board here shortly.
Dylan Wright about to lap, or has lapped Liam O'Farrell right there, and that puts them lapped up to 7th position. So the boys, once again, are just pushing hard out here for sure. It's very impressive to watch. But I feel like he's is he wearing down Phil Nicoletti? Like, is he wearing him down right now? Phil Nicoletti has lost a little bit more time on that lap there. It was 6.6 the gap last lap. This lap now it is, waiting for the computer, 8.4. So he's losing time here, Kyle.
Yeah, he's just got that little bit of sprint speed there. He's going to get that gap, and then maybe he can just roll it to the finish line, get that 1-1-1 that we've just seen Pettis do. So, man, that's what a weekend for the GDR crew. Obviously, the home track, they have a lot of fans around here. Obviously, no fans at the track, but you know what I mean?
They're cheering from somewhere.
They're going to cheer from somewhere
out there, and that's what we like to see. They're cheering from somewhere out there, and they're cheering loud right now for Dylan Wright, looking to go 1-1-1 on the day. And, man, they're putting on a show, like I said, lapping into the extreme measures, lapping up into 7th place in this moto. And Liam O'Farrell's still doing 2:19s. He's doing laps that are, 10, 12 seconds slower than those guys. But the amount of pressure, amount of speed these guys are carrying around this absolutely bombed out hot soil. It's truly amazing to watch these guys doing what they're doing right now. Dylan Wright, Phil Nicoletti, Matt Kirkby, Sean Moffenbauer, Tyler Medaya. That is your top 5. So Medaya, maybe it is what we saw happen to Piccolo. Pushed a little too hard and started getting a little bit overheated out there.
Yeah, that could have happened. We've seen Tanner Ward after he picked up his bike and that one lap to go crash. He overheated himself. So this heat is no joke here today, and these guys are really being put through the test. So we'll see if T-Dags can hang on to that 5th spot, just kind of cruise it in. And it looks like he's just going by the stripe now. So really soldiering on here. What a guy. He just does anything he can just to get the best finish he can. So good job by the number 5 is sitting in that 5th spot.
All right, so we're looking here to see the 2-lap board is not coming into the hand of our finish line referee here. So going to be interesting to see how that one works out. Well, actually, we started it at 3:15 was the time. We're only at 3:41 right now. He's looking at the clock. No, still not 2 laps to go. So still some time for Nicoletti to try to make something happen here. But Nicoletti lost a good 3 seconds on that lap. But not a great lap for Nicoletti out there right now for the 54, the Rockstar Energy OTSFF Yamaha rider. He has lost a good 5 seconds on that lap right there. And it looks like he's laboring just a little bit. It was 8 seconds that last lap. Now it is 13, a full 5 seconds that lap, Kyle.
Yeah, Nicoletti is just going to coaster in here. He's got a big gap over 3rd place Matt Gerke. He get it his halfway push, it looked like, where he dropped his lap down to 2:03s 2 laps in a row, and then Dylan said, no way, I'm going to just beat those laps, and he did, and just kind of defeated Phil Nicoletti this round. But you know what? Phil won Walton last year in the 450 class. He's going to be strong there again, so he's going to bring it all to Walton. There's going to be 5 motos in a row there, so he'll be hungry for some wins.
I have to say that Dylan Wright has crushed the spirits of every single person on this track here today. What he is doing to this field is truly remarkable. And it is a field not full of slouches. These guys, these racers here are not just some backyard hooligans out here. They all do the work. They all put in the time. And Dylan Wright is showing that whatever is doing and whatever he is making work out there is working today. 1-1-1, matching Jess Pettis in that 250 class. And not a lot of moto left here for anybody to do anything out there. And again, almost like the moto we just had before, a bit of a yawner here. Not a lot of battles. Everybody out there just out for survival.
Yeah, it just gets late in the day here in the 450. The 250 guys have a little bit more, power. And near the end of the thing, they got, the lighter bikes, the easier to ride bikes, the 5 less minutes in the moto. They got a little bit more in the tank at the end. But these guys, they're getting close to this 2-board. It should be coming out this lap unless he beats the clock here. So we're going to see. But Dylan Wright, again, 1-1 so far, trying to close this one out. He's going to have a couple laps to go, and he's going to be a perfect day here at Gopher Dunes. The Hondas are running well.
And look at that, and Sam Gaynor's not that far behind Tyler Medaya here. I don't know if he's been gaining on him there or not. No, okay, well, actually, Gaynor was 2 seconds a lap faster that lap, and he was 5 seconds a lap faster on that lap there. The 2-lap board is in the hands, and it is, what a race. What an absolute race here by Dylan Wright. 2-lap board getting ready to come out. And, Dylan Wright has gone by. So the 2-lap board is there. There's Phil right now about to get it. 2 laps to go.
Yeah, so Phil Nicoletti kind of backed off the throttle a bit. He's going to get through here. He's not going to be happy with the overall being a 3-2-2, but you know what? He's keeping it close in points, and he's going to have to come back strong next weekend, 2 weeks from now, and rebound. But good job by the Rockstar OTSF team. 3 guys in the top 6 here. Really starting strong. They got 3 good riders there. Monster Energy Kawasaki, they have 2 riders out there in the top 5. So lots of good riders in those teams, but Dylan Wright, just the cream of the crop. He's able to go 1-1, and he's about a lap and a half away from getting that last moto win.
Keelan Meston's still battling at their 13th position, so good job on him for obviously busted his fender off, had a crash right there. Still sitting in that 13th spot here. Finally coming across, here comes Matt Gerke. Gonna take sitting third in this race, so he's gonna take third overall for the day. If he can hang on to that, he's got an enormous lead over everybody else that's in front of him out there. So good job out there by Dylan Wright, Phil Nicoletti, Matt Gerke are going to be 1, 2, and 3 in this moto. 1, 2, 3 overall in the day, man. And I'll tell you, these guys are going to be punched over there. And I got to go over interview them there. Hopefully they got enough energy just to talk about how gnarly that race was.
Yeah, it's incredible how crazy rough this track has gotten. You can see on your TV screen, these guys are trying their best to keep that front end high and keep up to the back of the bike, but man, it is just aggressive. The heat is baking down. Ontario's humidity is crazy here this time of year. I know a lot of guys from the West Coast came out early trying to get used to that heat, but you can never plan for this kind of stuff, especially with the track is Dylan Wright catching up the backside of Gaynor here shortly, trying to get him to be a lap down, and I wouldn't, if I was Gaynor, I'd be like, yep, I will take that one less lap this time.
Well, Gaynor must have had a bad lap there because he was right not too far behind Tyler Medallia, so he had a lap that did not go over so well there. But yeah, Dylan Wright now, white flag to go. And I tell you what, this kid is demolishing the field right now. It is uber impressive. It is remnants of 2018 in Calgary when Colton Fasciotti went out and won both motos by like 35 or 40 seconds out there and just destroyed the field and really just took the competition and just kept it running all year long and brought home that championship. What we're seeing again right now is what the 450 slot that has been filled by him right now is impressive right now. I think even Colton right here could give him the nod.
Yeah, no, that's 100% coming out here and just dusting the field off in his first go. Rookie on that 450, and what good timing for him to win the championship in the 250 in 2019, come up here 2020. Obviously, he probably wanted to get going a little bit earlier than we are. Pandemic goes on, and he gets to have his first round at his home track here of GDR. Sorry, the team's home track. His home track would be Sandali.
All right, so just a few corners to go out here, I believe, for that number 9, trying to find him out in this track somewhere. He's getting ready to be a 1-1-1 on the day. And to solidify the red plate on the red bike, man, the Honda team has held that plate for a lot of years with the riders over the past, 5-6 years now between Fasciotti. And I think that even Jeremy Medallia had it for them one time there, maybe at some point. Regardless, Dylan Wright is filling the shoes of 6-time champion Canadian Fasciotti, and he's filling it in real good here for the Honda Canada GDR Fox squad. And about a half a track to go for Dylan Wright here, Kyle. And it's not making history. People have done this kind of thing, rookies like this, whatever you want to call it, man. But I'll tell you that what we're seeing today is truly one of those moments and performances that are going to just be like talked about forever.
Yeah, so there he goes. He gets by Sam Gaynor that lap, puts him a lap down. Sam Gaynor's going to thank him later. One less 2-minute 15-second lap around this Gopher Dunes course. And looks like Medaglia will get by the stripe here. He has goggles off, so he's going to end up 5th in that moto, even if he doesn't get his bike off of there. So good job by Medaglia getting by, soldiering through that one. But there you go. Dylan Wright coming up to the stripe.
The final turn. 1-1-1 domination right here. Honda Canada GDR Fox. Dylan Wright brings it home for the home team. And we'll wear the red plate in 2 weeks' time at Walton. Walton 1, which will be another 3-moto format out there. But I'll tell you what, man, he has done a job today that is like so you've never seen before. Phil Nicoletti going to come across 3-2-2 on the day, 2nd overall. And we're waiting on Matt Gerke. He's about 50 seconds behind, 42 seconds back that last lap to take that 3rd overall. Kyle, man, what a day. These guys, every racer out there, great job by you out there. Hats off to you guys battling in this sand, this heat, this toughness. And I'll tell you what, man, it has been another one day. But Dylan Wright proving whatever he's doing right now, it is good. It's time to take a quick little break. We'll go to commercial. We'll be right back with the interviews of our top 3 overall for the day.
Welcome back, everybody, here live, finishing off the final 450 moto of the day. And I'll tell you what, that one right there by Dylan Wright is one of those performances that we will talk about in the history of our sport for time. 1-1-1 for the man here. Honda Canada GDR Fox taking in. Dylan, you know what, coming in here, not sure who's going to pick who's going to talk about all this kind of stuff. That right there solidifies you are a complete championship contender. I know you believed it and the team believed it, but all our skeptics, you never know. What a job, man. Just tell me about how that day, I mean, you can't be more stoked about how everything went.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. This is probably the gnarliest Gopher dunes I think I've ever ridden. And if anybody says they didn't get tired that last moto, God, I was tired. And you know what, they're an Ironman, but you know, we did have expectations coming in, but I'm not going to lie, I surprised myself a little bit today. We had some realistic expectations. These guys are phenomenal riders, Phil, Matt, Tyler. I mean, the field is deep. And, you know, we just did our absolute hardest with training and getting the bike adapted to me this off-season. And, you know, not even just for me, but it's so nice for it to pay off for the team. Colton, he's been putting some endless hours in getting this bike set up. Justin, like spinning the wrenches, it's not easy for any of us, and it's a life path that we do. But I think we're all a little bit surprised. We're just going to try and soak it in, and we got a weekend off here to, thank God, recoup from this hot day here. Definitely got to get my electrolytes in me, but on a day like today, I can't thank my trainer enough, Rob Mooland. I hope you're watching, man. Your training is unreal, and for me to be able to last out there on that 450, my rookie race was phenomenal. So thank you very much, and thanks to the whole team and everybody helping me out. Try to keep the ball rolling here in Walton and just have some fun this season.
Great job out there, 111 by Dylan Wright, an amazing ride. We'll bring in the second overall on the day, 322 moto scores, and we'll bring Dylan back up for our podium shot at the end here. Bringing in the veteran, 31 years old here, battling with the 21-year-old Dylan Wright. Phil Nicoletti, you know, second overall, a great way to start the series. Maybe not that speed or anything you had. Maybe I even got a little bit surprised out of the number 9 today. Just talking about this day, it's brand new with the 3-moto format. Everything's a lot different out here, but you're still in the championship, exactly where you want to be.
Yeah, it was a solid day for points. Obviously, yesterday I wish I got second, you know, kind of that hurts a little bit, but I knew Dylan was going to be tough. I was watching the pre-races prior here, go for the 2 rounds, and he looked on point. Form was good, and I did my best I could in the sand. Last 4 laps I was hurting a little bit. Lappers were absolutely mental, and I missed some jumps, and it just took me out of the flow, and I just started redlining, pissed off. So it is what it is, but overall it was a good day. A lot of racing left, so it was awesome. I'd just like to thank Rockstar Energy, OTSFF, FXR, 60 Helmets, Alpine Star, Scott Goggles, Reese, my mechanics, Simsy. Everyone does an awesome job. Like I said, it was a good day, and anyone in the States wants to know, Gopher is the gnarliest track in North America at the moment. So it was good on the round 2, and keep digging.
Right on, great shot right there, Phil Nicoletti. Awesome to see him job, but a great job by this rider right here. We're waiting for Matt Gerge to come out of the podium. The guy hasn't raced in so long, breaks his back this past winter, and comes out and goes 4.33 on the day to solidify a 3rd overall. Matt, an amazing day for you, man. You hadn't raced and ridden and for so long there. We were unsure if you were even going to race this year. Next thing you know, we see the videos down south there. You're doing your trainer thing, doing that, and today you showed you were a champion, a true test of that thing, and you fought hard. 3rd place of the day. Tell me if you're okay with that, and just talk about the whole day in general with the 3-moto format and the whole weird thing that's been going on here.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping to be better, but I guess now that it's done, I should be happy. On this rough of a track, my first race from my broken back, I guess I'll take that. Those guys were flying. I definitely need to find a little more speed, but yeah, I think I should be able to find some speed for sure with 2 more weeks. So I got to give it to my whole team, though. At least I finished here. I haven't finished here in a couple years, so I'm pumped on that. My bike was awesome this whole weekend. My Monster Energy Pro Circuit, Kawasaki, Huber Motorsports bike, Atlas Brakes 100%. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to Doc Edwards Fitness, Manny, Aaron, everybody that believed in me after breaking my back. Most people didn't think I was going to be able to race again, and them for helping me get back to being here. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Great job, Matt. Congratulations, 3rd overall. We'll get you up here in a minute for that podium shot. Well, there you have it, folks. The day is done. The masks have been worn all day. We followed our guidelines. We banged out 3 motos. It's the first time in the history of our sport that we've ever had a 3-moto format for a championship. And, man, the COVID has changed the world, has changed the times, and it's just going to be that way all in us. But what we saw today between Dylan Wright and Jess Pettis, unbelievable stuff. Performances, history-making right there. That's it. It's a close. The Rockstar Triple Crown is out. See you next time at Walton. Tune in, stay live, have fun.
Oh, I like it. This is what everybody can relate to. Action-packed intensity.
Yeah, watch out.
The domination of national champion Cameron Beaubier looms heavy over the Superbike paddock. With a perfect 3 wins in 3 races, it's time for the rest of the field